Chapter 1625. Rumble. Heaven and earth trembled, and bright rays of light rose and intertwined in the void. Huang Wuji's Saint Dao boundary exuded eternal light, and his aura became incomparably mysterious. So what if it's the heavenly Dao chaotic tablet? You can't break my Saint Dao boundary. But you will die. You dare to go against me, Huang Wuji. Only death awaits you. Huang Wuji's eyes were cold, and cold light shot out as he stared at Ling Xiao. Boom! His aura began to soar in an instant, and his entire person became incomparably terrifying. An ancient and mysterious figure appeared behind him, surrounded by endless chaotic qi, as if it had walked out of endless time and space. Its expression was incomparably indifferent, and it had an invincible aura. Huang Wuji's cultivation was only at the first revolution half-saint realm, but because of this figure, his aura soared, and instantly reached the third revolution half-saint realm. Thunder Emperor's real body. Ling Xiao's eyes narrowed. After Huang Wuji devoured endless thunder spirits, his Thunder Emperor technique finally reached the great accomplishment realm, and condensed the Thunder Emperor's real body. His strength soared, and he could erupt with unparalleled terrifying combat strength. With the Saint Dao boundary protecting his body, coupled with the terror of the Thunder Emperor's real body, Huang Wuji was already in an invincible position, as if he could crush everything. Die! Huang Wuji roared, and a terrifying sound wave exploded in the void. He held the purple crescent blade in his hand, and the thunder source bead in the hands of the Thunder Emperor's real body shone brightly. At the same time, he charged towards Ling Xiao. Boom! 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 Terrifying lightning exploded, surrounded by a faint chaotic qi. The Thunder Dao origin power seemed to have derived spirituality, and turned into powerful creatures that charged towards Ling Xiao. The purple crescent blade in Huang Wuji's hand was vast. This flawless holy treasure was completely activated, and it slashed towards Ling Xiao, as if it could split heaven and earth. This was the power of a third revolution half-saint and a flawless holy treasure. At this moment, even a fourth revolution or fifth revolution half-saint might be killed by Huang Wuji directly. Ling Xiao felt an intense sense of danger. Instantly, the divine light around him intensified as the 9 Heaven Dao primal chaos tablets revolved around each other. They actually fused into a single Heaven Dao primal chaos tablet which soared through the skies and clashed against the purple crescent blade. In an instant, the skies trembled as boundless light flashed. The Heaven Dao primal chaos tablet flew back and Ling Xiao grabbed it as though he was grabbing a brick, smashing it towards Lightning Emperor's face. Crack! Bolts of lightning exploded as the heavenly Dao primal chaos tablet's might was unparalleled. It pierced through the layers of lightning and smashed onto the Lightning Emperor's true body, causing the Thunder Pearl to tremble violently. The Lightning Emperor's true body staggered and was almost smashed onto the ground by the heavenly Dao primal chaos tablet. Huang Wuji, so what if you have condensed the Thunder Emperor's true body? You still have to die. Ling Xiao sneered. Boom! Behind Ling Xiao, the figure of the Thunder Spirit King appeared, emitting a vast and ancient wave. Instantly, the surrounding thunder spirits began to tremble, emitting waves of excitement as they all flew towards the Thunder Spirit King. 100 rivers converge, a dragon returns to the sea. Everyone saw this mysterious scene. Thousands upon thousands of thunder spirits flew towards the Thunder Spirit King. They were all absorbed into the Thunder Spirit King's body, and the Thunder Spirit King's aura began to skyrocket. What? You are the legendary Thunder Spirit King? Huang Wuji's body trembled as his eyes revealed a trace of disbelief. He stared at the Thunder Spirit King and said. According to the legends, the Thunder Spirit King possessed the peak battle strength of a 9th revolution half-saint. His strength was extremely terrifying. He could sweep away everything. Although Huang Wuji had never seen the Thunder Spirit King, he could feel the Thunder Spirit King's aura. He immediately understood the Thunder Spirit King's identity. However, the Thunder Spirit King in front of him looked a little weak and didn't seem to be as strong as the legends said. However, as countless thunder spirits were absorbed by the Thunder Spirit King, his aura also surged. What made Huang Wuji even more surprised was why the Thunder Spirit King was with Ling Xiao. Huang Wuji, you refined the Thunder Spirit King, this Thunder Spirit King won't let you go. Ling Xiao smiled faintly as his eyes were extremely sharp. Kid, you dare to collude with the Thunder Spirit King? So what if you are the Thunder Spirit King? If you can't break my Saint Dao barrier, you will still die. Huang Wuji stared at Ling Xiao with a gloomy look. Huang Wuji kid, you dare to be my master's enemy? You are really reckless. Watch how I kill you. The Thunder Spirit King sneered and said. The chi around his body was extremely violent. Streaks of purple lightning fell from the sky like a mountain towards Huang Wuji. Master. You are the Thunder Spirit King, but you recognize a Divine King kid as your master? Huang Wuji's body trembled as his face became extremely ugly. His eyes were filled with unconcealable jealousy. This was the Thunder Spirit King, the Thunder Spirit King, the Thunder Spirit King who had reached the peak of his cultivation and nurtured the Thunder Spirit King. Unexpectedly, he recognized Ling Xiao as his master. Whoosh! The Thunder Pearl shone brightly as it flew towards the Thunder Spirit King to suppress him. Open! The Thunder Spirit King's eyes were extremely sharp as he threw out a punch. In an instant, the divine light on his fist exploded. A purple qilin flew out from it and roared in the sky as it collided with the Thunder Pearl. The Thunder Pearl was blown away. The Thunder Spirit King stepped on the sky as his aura became extremely terrifying. He was like a supreme saint who could control thunder. His fist covered Huang Wuji. Boom! The Thunder Spirit King's strength was getting more and more terrifying. As he devoured the Thunder Spirit King, his strength of the peak of the half-saint realm gradually exploded. Although Huang Wuji was strong, he had no power to resist the Thunder Spirit King. However, the Saint Dao barrier on Huang Wuji's body was too strong. Although the Thunder Spirit King's attack was extremely terrifying, it only blew Huang Wuji away. It did not hurt Huang Wuji at all. Ha ha ha. So what if you are the Thunder Spirit King? You can't break my defense at all. Thunder Spirit King, what is so good about this kid? As long as you are willing to recognize me as your master, I can give you anything you want. Huang Wuji laughed arrogantly as his eyes were filled with coldness. Recognize you as my master? Bah! Trash like you, how can you be my master? Why don't you take a piss and look at yourself in the mirror? I will break your turtle shell today. Boom! 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 Each of the Thunder Spirit King's punches was extremely terrifying. His fist covered the sky as it landed on Huang Wuji's body. Rays of destructive divine light burst out, making the void around him tremble violently. It even tore the void apart. Chapter 1626. Rumble. The purple lightning lion was extremely ferocious. His purple hair danced in the wind. His eyes were bloodshot and filled with bone-deep hatred. He emitted a vast aura. Previously, he was trapped by the ninefold lightning dragon formation and suffered a great loss. Now that he saw the disciples of the ninefold imperial obelisk again, his eyes blazed with hatred. He immediately transformed into his true form and attacked the disciples of ninefold imperial obelisk. Swoosh! At the same time, Duguqiubai's sword light was blazing. It contained the fluctuation of destruction and life. Each strike was sharper than the last. The nine-layered thunder dragon formation was extremely terrifying. However, under the joint attack of Duguqiubai and the purple lightning lion, the disciples of the nine imperial obelisk could not help but complain. The nine-layered thunder dragon formation was indeed very powerful. However, the most important factor was that Huang Wuji had the Thunder Source Bead. With the Thunder Source Bead as the formation core, the nine-layered Thunder Dragon formation could even fight against a fourth or fifth Revolution half-saint. Therefore, it was not difficult for them to suppress the Purple Lightning Lion earlier. However, Huang Wuji was now entangled with the Thunder Spirit King. He could not even take care of himself. They immediately found it difficult to resist and fell into a disadvantageous position. Asterisk roar. Asterisk the purple lightning dragon's aura was extremely terrifying. Bolts of lightning streaked across the void and charged towards the purple lightning lion. Kacha. However, a blazing sword light flashed across the void. Duguchobai's destruction sword Dao and life sword Dao burst out. Black and white divine light converged as if yin and yang were intertwined. It directly split the purple lightning dragon into two. Then, the purple lightning lion pounced forward and swallowed the purple lightning dragon into its stomach with its mouth wide open. Asterisk bang. Asterisk the huge claw slammed down with a blazing cold light. The 9-layer lightning dragon array trembled violently, and runes exploded one after another as if it had reached its limit. The disciples of the 9-layer imperial obelisk suddenly spat out a mouthful of blood, and their eyes were filled with incomparable terror. Senior Brother Huang, save us. Finally, a disciple of the 9 imperial obelisk could not help but cry for help. His eyes were filled with fear. They could already sense that if this continued, the 9-layered lightning dragon formation would probably collapse completely. At that time, without the power of the formation, they would not be the violet lightning lion's opponent with just their cultivation as god kings. You're courting death. Huang Wuji saw the scene in the distance and suddenly became furious. Terrifying lightning rose around his body. His eyes were filled with cold killing intent. Cut the crap. Be obedient and let me give you another 100 punches. Thunder Spirit King sneered and sent Huang Wuji flying with a slap. Endless lightning gathered in the surroundings. The lightning power that God Cloud Valley had accumulated for hundreds of millions of years was swallowed by the Thunder Spirit King like a whale swallowing the ocean. It made the Thunder Spirit King's presence more and more terrifying. Originally, the Thunder Spirit King had been seriously injured by Zhan Tianqing's Talisman of the Great Way, and then by Ling Xiao. He had almost fallen from the half-saint realm. However, as he continued to devour the Thunder Spirit and the power of Thunder Origin, his aura became more and more terrifying. Huang 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 Wu Huang Wuji roared. He was so depressed that he was about to vomit blood. In the hands of the Thunder Spirit King, he did not even have the slightest strength to resist. Asterisk roar. Asterisk the purple lightning lion's eyes were filled with hatred. He roared and rushed into the thunderbolts. He opened his mouth and bit a 9 imperial obelisk disciple into two and swallowed him. No! Bastard, how dare you eat Senior Brother Lu? Senior Brother Huang, save me. I don't want to die. Run! The 9 imperial obelisk formation is broken. We're no match for them. Many of the 9 imperial obelisk's disciples were horrified. They cried for their mothers and fathers as they fled into the distance. Their cries were incomparably miserable. However, they were only god kings. Without the protection of the 9-fold Thunder King formation, how were they supposed to avoid the pursuit of the violet lightning lion? Puff! One of the 9 imperial obelisk's disciples was smashed into a bloody mist by the purple lightning lion. The other disciples wanted to run away, but the purple lightning lion spat out a few thunderbolt chains from his mouth and tied them up. He then swallowed them into his stomach. The purple lightning lion was a 3rd revolution half-saint. How could these 9 imperial obelisk disciples be a match for him? In the blink of an eye, more than a dozen 9 imperial obelisk disciples were killed by the purple lightning lion. They all became food for the purple lightning lion. Huang Wuji's eyes turned red when he saw this. All of you deserve to die. I won't let any of you off. One day, I'll kill all of you, not leaving a single one alive. Huang Wuji roared. His voice was filled with bone-deep hatred that shook the sky. Asterisk rumble. The light around him was dazzling. In an instant, the void trembled. He turned into a ray of light and fled into the distance. Where do you think you're going? An indifferent voice rang out. In an instant, the heavenly Tao Chaos Tablet was surrounded by chaotic mist. It was like a huge wall that blocked Huang Wuji's path. Ling Zhao's eyes were extremely sharp. His blood qi surged to the sky. He pushed the sun, moon, and stars as he moved. A terrifying chaotic fist blasted towards Huang Wuji. You're courting death. Huang Wuji hated Ling Xiao to the extreme. His eyes were bloodshot. He couldn't wait to tear Ling Xiao apart. The Saint Tao boundary around him shone brightly. He suddenly knocked away the heavenly Tao chaos tablet. He didn't care about the punch behind Ling Xiao and continued to flee. In any case, he believed that Ling Xiao's punch couldn't break his Saint Tao boundary. Kacha! Ling Xiao's punch landed on Huang Wuji's body. In an instant, mysterious runes rose like a terrifying vortex and began to extract the Saint Tao boundary's power. The heaven-devouring secret technique had exploded. The Saint Tao boundary on Huang Wuji's body began to weaken at a speed visible to the naked eye. The Saint Tao aura within it followed Ling Xiao's arm and merged into Ling Xiao's body. The Saint Tao boundary also began to dim. Seeing this scene, Huang Wuji's soul almost flew out of his body. The reason why he dared to be so arrogant was because of the Saint Tao boundary on his body. As long as a true saint didn't appear, no one could break his Saint Tao boundary. But he didn't expect Ling Xiao to use a very strange method to devour the Saint Tao boundary's power. Chapter 1627. Get out of my way. Huang Wuji roared. Terrifying saint aura exploded from his body and poured into the purple crescent moon blade. Then, it slashed down towards Ling Xiao. Rumble. The blazing blade light was incomparably dazzling. This was the power of a flawless saint treasure. Under Huang Wuji's control, it was incomparably terrifying. Even the void was cut open. Clang! The heavenly Tao primal chaos tablet shone brightly and instantly blocked the purple crescent moon blade. The blazing Tao light exploded. The heavenly Tao primal chaos tablet released streaks of chaotic light. Not even a white mark was left behind. Kacha! At this moment, a crisp sound could be heard. The Saint Tao barrier on Huang Wuji's body instantly shattered. Huang Wuji's expression changed instantly. Hee hee. Huang Wuji, your tortoise shell has already been broken by my master. Let's see if you're still alive. Lightning Spirit King sneered. The lightning around his body was blazing. His aura was terrifying to the extreme. The surrounding lightning spirits had already been devoured by him. His cultivation had also recovered to its peak. The peak strength of a 9th revolution half-saint was only a step away from a true saint. That terrifying aura instantly made Huang Wuji's expression extremely ugly. Rumble. Huang Wuji pointed his finger out. His fingertip shone brightly. The chaotic lightning instantly exploded on Huang Wuji's body. It directly blasted half of Huang Wuji's body. Blood spurted out from his mouth as his body was sent flying. Damn it! My grandfather is the supreme elder of the 9 imperial gates. He's a saint with monstrous strength. If you dare to kill me, my grandfather will definitely not let you off. Huang Wuji roared. His eyes involuntarily revealed a trace of fear. Without the saint path boundary, Huang Wuji felt a sense of helplessness when facing the terrifying Thunder Spirit King. He couldn't help but feel afraid. So what if you're a saint? When you wanted to snatch my treasure and make me kneel down to apologize, why didn't you think of this outcome? Ling Xiao's gaze was ice cold. Holding the Heaven Tao Primal Chaos tablet in his hand, it was as though he was holding a brick. He directly smashed the brick onto Huang Wuji's face, causing his handsome face to turn into a bloody mess. His teeth were all shattered. Huang Wuji let out another blood-curdling scream as his entire body flew out. Master, this brat deserves to die. However, I'm afraid that there's a mark left behind by a sage on his body. Leave it to me. I guarantee that I'll get rid of him without leaving any traces behind. Thunder Spirit King said to show his loyalty. Huang Wuji's entire body trembled. His eyes were filled with incomparable fear. These two fellows actually wanted to kill him. His grandfather was a saint of the 9 imperial gates. How could they dare to make a move? Very good. But letting him die like this is letting him off too easily. Ling Xiao smiled faintly. A sharp light flashed in his eyes, and he instantly leaped forward. He turned into a ray of light and appeared behind Huang Wuji. Then, he struck out with his palm. Rumble. Ling Xiao's palm was filled with a primordial mist, and the radiance was incomparably dazzling. The heaven-devouring secret technique had completely erupted. The Thunder Emperor's real body that was originally condensed by Huang Wuji appeared, and then began to be slowly devoured by Ling Xiao. Behind Ling Xiao, the lightning glow was incomparably intense. A mysterious figure gradually solidified and slowly appeared, emitting a monstrous aura. You've actually cultivated my 9 Imperial Gates Thunder Emperor skill? Damn it, you're dead. No one can save you. Huang Wuji roared wildly, his eyes filled with disbelief. He had never thought that Ling Xiao would actually cultivate the Thunder Emperor skill and even obtain the true meaning of the Thunder Emperor skill. At this moment, he actually wanted to devour the Thunder Emperor's real body in his body. Is that so? Ling Xiao sneered, his eyes indifferent. Ever since he exposed the heaven-devouring secret technique, Ling Xiao had decided that he would never let Huang Wuji go. Therefore, no matter what Huang Wuji said, whether it was threats or begging for mercy, it would not shake his heart. Rumble. Behind Ling Xiao, the terrifying lightning glow was incomparably intense. The mysterious Thunder Emperor's real body slowly condensed. Huang Wuji's many years of cultivation had now been completely devoured by Ling Xiao. Especially the Thunder Principle Origin energy, it had all turned into nourishment for the Thunder Emperor's real body. Boom! After the Thunder Emperor's real body was devoured, Ling Xiao threw out a punch and directly sent Huang Wuji flying. Hee. Kid, your life is mine. The Thunder Spirit King sneered and instantly picked up Huang Wuji as if he was picking up a little chick. The aura around his body was incomparably terrifying, and a murderous aura spread out. Huang Wuji's body suddenly trembled, and his eyes were filled with fear. Grandpa! Save me! Huang Wuji roared wildly, his voice was filled with incomparable anxiety and fear. Rumble! Huang Wuji's glabella shone brightly. It was as if some kind of sage energy had awakened in his body. In an instant, the wind and clouds surged, and the sky changed color. It was as if some kind of terrifying energy was about to descend. A sage's clone. If you want to descend, you have to ask for my permission. The Thunder Spirit King sneered. It was as if he had already expected this. His expression was very calm, and there was no trace of panic. Swoosh! A dazzling bead flew out from his hand, and in an instant, terrifying lightning burst out. The vast power of the matrix shrouded the entire area, and at the same time, it also isolated the power of the Divine Path aura. Divine Firmament Armageddon Array. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. It turned out that the Thunder Spirit King had used the Divine Firmament Armageddon Array to cover up everything. It also destroyed the imprint and means left by the sage on Huang Wuji's body. It even repelled the sage's clone that was about to descend. Ling Xiao's heart also had a trace of vigilance. In the future, if he met such a genius with a sage behind him, he was afraid that he would have to be careful. Otherwise, if the sage's clone descended, then it would be a big joke. I will remember you. A cold and vast wave spread out, causing the surrounding void to tremble. The vast saintly path aura exuded a strange wave, but in the end, it retreated reluctantly. Remember me? There are many people who remember me. Who do you think you are? The Thunder Spirit King sneered, and his eyes were filled with disdain. Huang Wuji's body trembled, and there was a trace of despair in his eyes. Even the sage's clone was blocked by the Thunder Spirit King. Was he really going to die here today? Spare me. I was wrong, I shouldn't have become your enemy. I overestimated myself, I am a piece of trash. As long as you are willing to let me go, I am willing to do anything for you. I only beg you to spare my life. Huang Wuji suddenly knelt down in front of Ling Xiao and the Thunder Spirit King, and used both of his hands to slap himself, and loudly begged for mercy. Only now you want to beg for mercy? Too bad it's too late. Thunder Spirit King said indifferently. A blazing lightning fell from the sky. Chaotic fog lingered around the lightning, and a terrifying destructive power surrounded Huang Wuji. In a flash, Huang Wuji was shrouded by the lightning and turned into ashes. Chapter 1628. The 9 imperial palaces floated above the 9 heavens in the 9 imperial palaces. They emitted a mysterious and ancient aura, just like the ancient heavenly palace, magnificent and majestic. In a mountain surrounded by clouds, a middle-aged man in a purple robe sat cross-legged in front of a waterfall. He had a dignified face, and his body was surrounded by holy aura. He was absorbing the essence of heaven and earth, and his aura was terrifying. Whoosh! A mysterious light suddenly flew out of the waterfall, and turned into a purple jade talisman, emitting a strange fluctuation. The middle-aged man in purple robe opened his eyes, and his eyes were full of respect. He took the purple jade talisman with both hands and bowed, "Welcome, ancestor." Boom! Strange fluctuations were emitted from the purple jade talisman, and an old and cold voice resounded in the void. Huang Wuji was killed. This is the aura of the murderer. Take this jade talisman and go to the mythical space. No matter who killed Huang Wuji, he will pay with his blood. The middle-aged man in purple robe trembled, and his eyes were full of shock. He could hear the killing intent and anger in the voice. Something big had happened. Who was Huang Wuji? He was the grandson of the old ancestor. He had just broken through to the first revolution half-saint, and he had been bestowed with 2 flawless holy treasures. Moreover, he had also been bestowed with a holy way boundary. He was innately in an invincible position. The middle-aged man in purple robe was shocked, but he still said respectfully, "Don't worry, ancestor. No matter who killed Huang Wuji, he will die." After that, the middle-aged man in purple robe grabbed the purple jade talisman, and he turned into a bright light and flew away. In the divine cloud valley, Huang Wuji was killed by the Thunder Spirit King. His soul was scattered, and there was no corpse left. Only the purple crescent blade and the thunder pearl were left. At this moment, these 2 perfect holy treasures had become ownerless. Whoosh! Ling Xiao directly stored these 2 holy treasures into the wordless heavenly book. Ling Xiao also obtained a thunder source bead. Together, they could be considered a powerful thunder holy treasure. However, these 2 thunder source beads were somewhat shameful. Ling Xiao now only used them as tools to absorb the thunder origin energy. He rarely used them. As for the purple crescent blade, Ling Xiao was prepared to use the wordless heavenly book to completely obliterate it before letting the sky-devouring sword devour it. After devouring countless heavenly treasures, Ling Xiao's sky-devouring sword's power was unparalleled. It was not far from a flawless holy treasure. Ling Xiao was planning to find an opportunity to upgrade it to a true holy treasure. "Junior brother Long, it's time for me to leave. However, you must be careful in the future. After all, Huang Wuji has a saint standing behind him. If he finds out that you killed Huang Wuji, the War God Temple might not be willing to protect you. If you really can't stay in the War God's shrine, come to the Hero Alliance." Dugu Qiubai smiled at Ling Xiao. "Thank you, brother Dugu. I will be careful. If there comes a day when I really can't stay in the War God Temple anymore, I will definitely look for you." Ling Xiao cupped his hands and smiled at Dugu Qiubai. This time, he had gained a lot in Divine Cloud Valley with Dugu Qiubai. He was sure that Dugu Qiubai would be preparing to undergo the Nirvana tribulation and break through to the half-saint realm after he left. "All right. Goodbye." Dugu Qiubai smiled casually. Then, he leaped into the sky and transformed into a dazzling sword aura, quickly disappearing before everyone's eyes. "Let's go too." Ling Xiao turned around and jumped onto the purple lightning lion's back. The Thunder Spirit King also entered Ling Xiao's body and left Divine Cloud Valley together. "Master, don't worry. I have completely killed Huang Wuji. Also, I used the divine cloud lightning array to isolate that saint's aura and left Zhang Tianqing's aura behind. Hehe, even if that saint senses it, he will probably think that Zhang Tianqing killed Huang Wuji. He will definitely not suspect us. The Thunder Spirit King smiled slyly. Zhang Tianqing's aura. The corners of Ling Zhao's mouth twitched. He started to mourn for Zhang Tianqing in his heart. The Thunder Spirit King was indeed cunning. However, he did things flawlessly. Now that Huang Wuji had been killed, they would probably not be able to find out that Ling Zhao was the culprit. Thunder Spirit King, do you know where else in the mythical space contains a large amount of tribulation aura? Ling Zhao asked. There was still half a year before the flipping sky seal would open again. Ling Zhao did not intend to return to the sect so soon. There were many ancient relics in the celestial devil space. If he could find an ominous calamity land and absorb the endless calamity chi, he would be able to condense the calamity seed as soon as possible. After experiencing the benefits of the tribulation aura, Ling Zhao did not intend to condense a tribulation seed just like that. He had to find a large amount of tribulation aura to refine his entire body. A large amount of tribulation aura. The calamity land in the mythical space is very dangerous. After so many years, I don't know if those calamity lands are still there. However, if Master wants to obtain a large amount of tribulation aura, you can try going to the Red Lotus Valley. The Thunder Spirit King thought for a while and said slowly. Red Lotus Valley. What is that place? Where is it? Ling Zhao asked curiously. He knew some secret places around Shangqing ancient city, but he had never heard of the Red Lotus Valley. The Red Lotus Valley contains an endless amount of Red Lotus hellfire. It is very terrifying. Even a sage would not dare to touch the Red Lotus hellfire. However, the Red Lotus hellfire is closely related to the tribulation aura. There is also a lot of tribulation aura in the Red Lotus Valley. If Master wants to obtain tribulation aura, it should be the most suitable place to go. The Thunder Spirit King said slowly and explained the situation in the Red Lotus Valley. Is it more than 3 million miles away from here? It is a little far. Moreover, there are many experts of the demon clan in the location you mentioned. The Red Lotus Valley is probably a name from the ancient times. Alright, let's go to the Red Lotus Valley to have a look. Ling Zhao thought for a while and nodded in agreement. Whoosh! Following Ling Zhao's thought, the purple lightning lion excitedly swung its limbs and rushed into the sky in an instant. It turned into a purple light and flew in the direction of the Red Lotus Valley. The purple lightning lion had also been trapped in Divine Cloud Valley for a long time. Like a curious baby, it was curious about everything. If Ling Zhao had not urged it to hurry, it would have gone down to have a good time. Chapter 1629. Puff. The sky-devouring sword shone brightly and cut a demon clan expert in a black robe in half. It then flew back to Ling Zhao's hand with a flash of sword light. This is the third wave of the demon clan. The Red Lotus Valley is just ahead and there are so many demon clan experts. It seems that the Red Lotus Valley is not simple. Ling Zhao's eyes flashed as he thought to himself. Ever since he entered the range of the Red Lotus Valley, he had come across 3 waves of demon experts. As soon as they saw him, they directly charged at him without any warning. However, the strongest demon king was only a god king, so Ling Zhao killed them all very quickly. Ling Zhao instinctively felt that the Red Lotus Valley was not simple as there were so many demon clan experts. There are experts from the Ghost Demon clan collecting the Red Lotus Fire and Calamity Chi in the Red Lotus Valley? Ling Zhao's gaze trembled, revealing a trace of sharpness. After he killed the Demon clan experts, although most of the Demon clan experts did not know about the Demon clan's actions due to their low status, Ling Zhao still found out about the situation in the Red Lotus Valley from the memories of a demon god king. It turned out that the experts from the Ghost Demon clan were collecting the Red Lotus Fire and Calamity Chi in the Red Lotus Valley. They even captured many experts from the Human clan and forced them to work for the Ghost Demon clan. Why are the Ghost Demon Clan collecting the Red Lotus Fire and Calamity Chi? The Red Lotus Fire should be the natural enemy and nemesis of the Ghost Demon Clan. The Thunder Spirit King was also confused. The karmic fire of the Red Lotus was extremely terrifying. It was related to the legendary power of karma. Once touched by the karmic fire of the Red Lotus, even the Buddhists who claimed to be perfect as one would be burned to ashes, let alone the demons. It could be said that there were no demons who were not afraid of the karmic fire of the Red Lotus. This was especially true for the ghost demons, who were tainted with countless evil creatures and karma. As long as they came into contact with the karmic fire of the Red Lotus, even a true ghost saint would not be able to withstand it. I don't know. I'm afraid the Ghost Demon Clan is plotting something. I'll go into the Red Lotus Valley to investigate. Ling Zhao's eyes flashed as he said slowly. The Thunder Spirit King was hiding in Ling Zhao's body, and the Purple Lightning Lion was too big of a target and would be easily exposed. Therefore, Ling Zhao also kept the Purple Lightning Lion in the wordless heavenly book. He used the heaven-shrouding secret technique alone to conceal his aura and sneaked into the Red Lotus Valley. The Red Lotus Valley was a huge valley formed by undulating hills. It spanned hundreds of thousands of kilometers and was extremely vast. However, when Ling Zhao approached the Red Lotus Valley, he felt a scorching aura. It was a fluctuation that made his soul feel extremely hot. Red Lotus Hellfire. The Red Lotus Valley indeed contained the power of the Red Lotus Hellfire. Hurry up and get to work. If you dare to slack off again, you will end up like him. A cold reprimand rang in Ling Zhao's ears. Ling Zhao's heart skipped a beat, and he quietly moved in that direction. In front of a hill, a group of Ghost Demon Clan experts in black robes were in front of it. Ghost chi surged from their bodies, and their eyes were cruel and bloodthirsty. Each of them held a black whip in their hands, and they kept whipping at a group of humans who were shackled. Those humans were badly mutilated, and they were covered in wounds. Their eyes were filled with anger, but they did not dare to speak. They could only grit their teeth and chisel at the hill in front of them, and take out pieces of red stones. Then, they activated the divine power in their bodies and stretched out their palms to draw out a wisp of red illusory flame from the stones. They burned their hands until their flesh was torn open, and then they hurriedly put it into a jade bottle that they carried with them. In the distance, there was a huge flagpole that was over 100 feet tall. A black skull flag fluttered in the wind, appearing incomparably ferocious and terrifying. Hanging on the flagpole were over 1,000 heads. Every single one of them had an expression of pain, anger, and unwillingness to die in peace. Their eyes were wide open in anger. Ling Zhao's eyes instantly became extremely cold. Ghost Demon Clan, damn you! A monstrous killing intent surged in Ling Zhao's heart. The Ghost Demon Clan had actually captured so many human experts, sealed their cultivation, and shackled their hands and feet. They were forced to consume their life force to draw out the Red Lotus Hellfire from the ores. Ling Zhao could feel that the Red Lotus Hellfire was also intertwined with strands of tribulation chi. The process of drawing out the Red Lotus Hellfire was extremely painful. Not only did it consume one's life force, but it would also burn one's primordial spirit. It was not as simple as the flesh being torn open, but also the primordial spirit. It was excruciating. However, in order to survive, those humans could only endure in silence. Ling Zhao could feel that most of the humans were in the true immortal realm and the divine king realm. There were only 2 or 3 half-saint experts. Obviously, it was difficult for the Ghost Demon Clan to capture half-saint experts. However, Ling Zhao could feel that there were many minds like this in the Red Lotus Valley. Many Ghost Demon experts acted as overseers, supervising the humans as they drew out the Red Lotus Hellfire and Tribulation Chi. If anything went wrong, they would be whipped and kicked. Ling Zhao resisted the urge to charge forward and kill all the Ghost Devil experts. Instead, he carefully observed the situation. The Ghost Demon overseers were only in the Demon God King realm. There were other commanders behind them. Ling Zhao wanted to know what the Ghost Demon Clan was planning. Soon, Ling Xiao saw one of the ghost demon overseers collecting all the red lotus hellfire collected by the humans into a black gourd. He then took the gourd and walked into the depths of the red lotus valley. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he quietly followed. The deeper he went, the more ghost demon experts Ling Xiao found. There were even half-saint experts leading teams to patrol. This place was heavily guarded. No one could break in. However, the more heavily guarded it was, the more it meant that the ghost demon clan had some unspeakable secret. The ghost demon overseer walked all the way to the depths of the Red Lotus Valley and stopped in front of an ancient stone pagoda. The stone pagoda had 9 floors and was hundreds of feet tall. It exuded an eerie ghost chi. It was very terrifying. Ling Xiao also felt a trace of mysterious and cold Saint Dao chi from it. This stone pagoda was also a treasure. There were dozens of ghost demon overseers lined up in front of the stone pagoda. Each of them was holding a black gourd. Gue-san, today you have collected 300 red lotus hellfire and 30 tribulation chi. You are rewarded with 3 ghost spirit pills. Gue-16, today you have collected 1700 red lotus hellfire and 170 tribulation chi. You are rewarded with 17 ghost spirit pills. A cold voice sounded from the stone pagoda. Ling Xiao could vaguely see a tall figure in a black robe. His aura was very strong. He had reached the 3rd revolution half-saint realm. Chapter 1630. Is this stone tower where the red lotus karmic fire and tribulation chi are stored? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he thought to himself. Ling Xiao still did not know why the Ghost Devil clan was collecting the red lotus karmic fire and tribulation chi. However, the Ghost Devil clan's overseers might not know either. However, Ling Xiao did not dare to act rashly. He did not know how many Ghost Devil clan's overseers were in the Red Lotus Valley. Although it was unlikely for a saint to enter the mythical space, the Ghost Devil clan valued the Red Lotus Valley very much. Soon, the Ghost Devil clan's overseers handed over all the Red Lotus karmic fire and tribulation chi. After receiving their rewards, they left happily. Before the stone tower's door closed, Ling Xiao quietly sneaked in. In addition to the 3 revolution half-saint expert from the Ghost Devil clan, there was also an old man in a black robe. His eyes were cold and his aura was powerful. His cultivation had reached the 6th revolution half-saint realm. Lord Ghost Shadow, we have collected a total of 36,500 red lotus karmic fire and 3,200 tribulation chi today. They are all here. Please take a look. The 3 revolution half-saint expert from the Ghost Devil clan respectfully handed over a black gourd. Ghost Shadow reached out and took it. He looked at it and nodded with satisfaction. Not bad. Gueku, you have done well. In these few months, we have collected a large amount of red lotus karmic fire and tribulation chi. When young master comes, not only will you and I be rewarded, but we will also be able to return to the devil world and leave this damned place. Gueku smiled flatteringly. Lord Ghost Shadow, thank you for capturing so many humans. Otherwise, it would be impossible to collect so much red lotus karmic fire and tribulation chi in such a short time. Those lowly humans are lucky to be able to work for us. However, we do not have enough manpower now. We need to continue capturing humans. Gueku, you will personally lead a team and capture 1,000 humans this time. Ghost Shadow said faintly. Yes. Lord Ghost Shadow, I promise to complete the task. Gueku hurriedly promised. Good. You can leave first. Ghost Shadow waved his hand. Gueku bowed respectfully and turned to leave the stone tower. Boom. Gue Ying's body emitted a vast and mysterious aura fluctuation. He spat out obscure syllables and formed a seal with his hands. Immediately, the stone tower trembled slightly and a black door appeared in front of Gue Ying. Just as Gue Ying stepped into the black door, Ling Xiao also turned into a ray of divine light and instantly followed Gue Ying into the black door. Who is it? Gue Ying's entire body shook. Suddenly, a trace of light burst out from his eyes as he shouted loudly. The black door was also the entrance to a powerful array formation. Although Ling Xiao had concealed his aura with the heaven-shrouding mystic technique, the black door still sensed that someone had followed the ghost shadow in and immediately sounded the alarm. Guiying exuded an incomparably terrifying aura as mysterious sound waves whizzed out, causing the surrounding space to tremble violently. Of course it's the person who killed you. Demon brat, you're quite vigilant. With a flash of light, the Thunder Spirit King appeared from Ling Xiao's body and sneered. Rumble. The lightning around the Thunder Spirit King's body was blazing. His terrifying aura was monstrous. The cultivation of a 9th revolution half-saint was completely unleashed. Instantly, Guiying's expression changed greatly. His face became extremely ugly. The Thunder Spirit King did not give him a chance to react. His palm landed on Guiying's body. Immediately, a bright lightning bloomed. The power of lightning swept towards Guiying. The ghost demon race was a race that lived in the darkness of the underworld, so they were most afraid of this kind of power. When the Thunder Spirit King made his move, more than half of Ghost Shadow's power was suppressed. Ghost Shadow didn't have any power to resist at all. He was directly hit on the chest by the Thunder Spirit King, and his body suddenly exploded. Whoosh! Purple runes rose up from the Thunder Spirit King's palm. Suddenly, they formed a purple lightning and covered the black light that was blown up by the Ghost Shadow. A 6th revolution half-saint would not die so easily. Sure enough, the black light surged and instantly turned into Ghost Shadow's appearance. However, he didn't dare to move at all. The destructive lightning around him was hidden, as if he dared to make the slightest movement, he would be destroyed in the next moment. Who the hell are you? Guiying's face was extremely ugly. He stared at Ling Xiao and the Thunder Spirit King who appeared in front of him. In Guiying's eyes, this pair was a little strange. Ling Xiao was only a Great Circle Divine King, but Thunder Spirit King was a 9th revolution half-saint. Ling Xiao did not pay attention to Guiying. Instead, he was observing the surroundings. In front of Ling Xiao, there was a vast ocean with a mountain floating on it. Rumble. The light in the ocean was dazzling. The lightning was blazing. It was unexpectedly formed by the Calamity Chi. No one knew how many thousands of Calamity Chi had gathered to form a vast ocean of Calamity Chi. The mountain was crimson red. It was formed by the accumulation of red lotus hellfire. It was exuding an extremely hot aura that could burn one's primordial spirit. The red lotus was like a mountain, and the Calamity Chi was like a sea. This was indeed the place where the red lotus hellfire and Calamity Chi were stored. The Ghost Demon clan is actually mining the red lotus hellfire and Calamity Chi in the Red Lotus Valley. What is their plan? If you tell me honestly, perhaps I can give you a quick death. Ling Xiao looked at Guiying and asked indifferently. If you promise to let me live, I will tell you. Guiying gritted his teeth and said. The aura of the Thunder Spirit King was too terrifying. It was so terrifying that he could not even think of resisting. Hence, he only wanted to live. Let you live? Sure. Tell me. Ling Xiao said indifferently. You must swear the Great Heart Demon Oath. Otherwise, I will not say anything. Guiying said with an ugly expression. You dare to talk about conditions when you are about to die. You really don't know what death is. Thunder Spirit King, kill him. Ling Xiao said indifferently. Yes, Master. The Thunder Spirit King grinned. Then, the lightning around his body was blazing. In the next moment, the lightning that filled the sky was about to strike Guiying. Guiying was scared out of his wits. He quickly said, I will tell you everything. He was completely terrified. If he were to be killed like this, he would be extremely unwilling. Therefore, he chose to confess everything. Following Guiying's narration, Ling Xiao gradually understood why the Ghost Demon clan built the Red Lotus Valley. Chapter 1631. As if he was afraid that Ling Xiao would go back on his words, Guiying quickly said, "My lords, our young master is a peerless genius, and he's famous in the devil world. The most important thing is that his 2 guards are 9th Revolution half-saint. If you kill me, he'll know immediately. As long as you let me live, I'm willing to help you pretend to be polite with him, otherwise, once the young master of the Ghost Devil clan arrives, you'll be no match for him." Young master of the Ghost Devil clan? What kind of cultivation technique is he cultivating? How dare he use the Red Lotus Hellfire and Tribulation Chi to refine his body? Isn't he afraid of being burned to death by the hellfire? Ling Xiao asked with slight surprise. "My lord, I don't know either. I only know that the young master cultivates a peerless ancient heavenly cultivation technique, and it's the top secret of the Ghost Devil clan. Very few people know about it." Guiying said honestly. "Very good. You're right, then you can go die." Ling Xiao said indifferently. Thunder Spirit King sneered, his body was filled with killing intent, and he instantly rushed towards Guiying. "Bastard! You don't keep your words, the young master won't let you go, you'll die without a burial place, I'll wait for you, ah." Guiying's eyes revealed an incomparably furious expression as he roared. He didn't expect that Ling Xiao would still kill him without any hesitation after he told him everything. It seemed that Ling Xiao didn't plan to let him go from the beginning. Boom! Guiying's cursing stopped abruptly. He was directly killed by Thunder Spirit King, and his primordial spirit was swallowed by Ling Xiao with the wordless heavenly book, stripping his memory to confirm what he just said. This guy didn't lie. But he still deserves to die. Ling Xiao said indifferently. Guiying didn't hide anything, but when he thought of the human heads on the flagpole in the Red Lotus Valley, his heart was filled with killing intent. "Master, I'll protect you, with so much tribulation chi, it should be enough for you to refine your body." Thunder Spirit King said slowly. "Good. But according to Guiying, the young master of the Ghost Devil clan may come at any time. After you go out, kill all the Ghost Devil clan, and release the humans. Once the young master of the Ghost Devil clan arrives, send me a message." Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a trace of burning killing intent. "Master, don't worry, none of those demon bastards." Thunder Spirit King sneered and said. Whoosh! He instantly turned into a beam of light and left the space of the stone tower. Following Ling Xiao's orders, he went to hunt the experts of the Ghost Devil clan. Ling Xiao's gaze fell on the sea of tribulation aura before him. There are at least a few 100,000 strands of tribulation chi here. It's enough for me to refine my entire body. Ling Xiao's eyes flickered with divine light as he took a deep breath. Boom! His body shone with dazzling light as he jumped into the sea of tribulation chi in an instant. He then activated the myriad tribulation's indestructible saint technique and began to absorb the boundless tribulation chi around him. Ling Xiao's body was extremely strong, and his chi and blood were monstrous. However, after absorbing the tribulation chi was like the sharpest sword radiance, piercing through his body and leaving deep scars. If Ling Xiao's body was not strong enough, it would be no different from seeking death if an ordinary person dared to absorb the tribulation chi. The surrounding void trembled as the tribulation chi entered Ling Xiao's body, and began to refine his body. This time, it was a comprehensive refinement, from his limbs to his torso, from his torso to his head. Ling Xiao's entire body was integrated into the sea of tribulation chi. Roar! There seemed to be an ancient dragon's roar coming from Ling Xiao's body. His divine dragon body had reached the complete realm, and the next step was the ancestral dragon body, which was the most mysterious part of the ancestral dragon's secret skill. However, Ling Xiao still had no clue how to break through the ancestral dragon body. Although his body seemed to have reached its limit, Ling Xiao felt that he was still far from the true ancestral dragon body. As the endless tribulation chi refined his body, Ling Xiao could feel that his body, which had already reached its limit, began to slowly strengthen again. The chi and blood around Ling Xiao rose, turning into golden divine dragons that coiled around his body. His aura became unstable, and his body glowed, releasing rays of divine light. With the refinement of the tribulation chi, his body became more and more terrifying, and his entire body was filled with an ancient and mysterious purple chi. Rumble. Ling Xiao seemed to have sunk into a state of cultivation, forgetting everything else. The vast sea of tribulation chi was completely devoured by him as the heaven-devouring secret skill erupted. His physical body underwent a metamorphosis from inside out as his entire being was tempered by the tribulation chi. This was especially true for the tempering of his head. Ling Xiao had used up hundreds of thousands of strands of tribulation chi to completely temper his head. The head was the most difficult part to refine. Not only did it involve the eyes, ears, nose, mouth, and tongue, but it also involved the soul and sea of consciousness. He needed to be careful with every refinement. It would be troublesome if the soul was heavily injured during the refinement of the tribulation chi. Ling Xiao didn't even know how long it took him to refine his entire body from head to toe. Ling Xiao's body seemed to have become several times stronger. It shone with a faint light of eternity, as if he had been reborn. His presence became even more terrifying. Endless tribulation chi gathered within Ling Xiao's body, forming a mysterious vortex. It shone with dazzling light, as if something was about to be born. Crack! It was as if the first bolt of lightning had exploded. The vortex opened up and endless chaotic mist filled the air. It was as if a mysterious small world had been formed. A mysterious purple seed emerged from it. It looked perfect and there were many mysterious patterns on it. The tribulation seed has finally been formed. Ling Xiao slowly opened his eyes. A sliver of joy appeared in his eyes as he murmured to himself. He shone with resplendent light. The purple tribulation seed directly fused with Ling Xiao's heart, causing it to beat violently. Vast strands of vital energy flowed through Ling Xiao's body, causing his body to become extremely tough. Ling Xiao could sense that his current body was basically like a powerful half-saint treasure. It was very difficult to break through. He had become one with Zhou Tian, like an indestructible piece of metal. I'm afraid my physical body has already reached the limit of the Divine King realm. It'll probably be 10 or 100 times more difficult for me to break through to half-saint compared to others. Ling Xiao sighed softly. Chapter 1632. Crackle. Ling Xiao slowly stood up, and his body crackled like beans being fried. Rays of resplendent light filled the air, causing Ling Xiao to emit an ancient, heavy, mysterious, and immortal aura. Ling Xiao had finally formed a tribulation seed for the eternally indestructible sacred technique. He was considered to have stepped into the threshold of mastery. From then on, with the tribulation seed as the foundation, Ling Xiao's physical body would become more and more terrifying, more and more powerful. In the end, he would become indestructible and invincible. Ling Xiao heaved a sigh of relief as a look of anticipation appeared in his eyes. The calamity seed has been condensed. The next step is to control the flipping sky seal. As long as he could control the flipping sky seal, Ling Xiao would be able to become the leader of the battle hall. At that time, Ling Xiao's strength would definitely reach an unfathomable level. Master, the young lord of the Ghost Devil clan has arrived. I will hold them back. You go first. At this moment, Thunder Spirit King's anxious voice sounded in Ling Xiao's mind. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. The young master of the Ghost Demon clan had arrived. Seeing the Thunder Spirit King's anxious tone, he was afraid that he was not in a good condition. Ling Xiao could leave, but he didn't want to leave the Thunder Spirit King behind. I want to see how strong the young lord of the Ghost Devil clan is. Ling Xiao's body flashed as he used the heaven-shrouding secret technique. His aura became extremely obscure. He took a step forward and was about to leave the space of the stone tower. Rumble. The sky was shaking, and the earth was trembling. A fierce battle had already broken out in the Red Lotus Valley. Two silhouettes with powerful auras could be seen in the sky. They were both experts of the Ghost Devil clan, and both of them had the strength of 9th Revolution half-saint. A young man in a black robe was walking towards the stone tower. He looked extraordinary and had a terrifying aura. His eyes were filled with cold killing intent. The young lord of the Ghost Devil clan. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. He immediately guessed that the young man in a black robe was the young lord of the Ghost Devil clan. He was a second revolution half-saint, but his body was extremely powerful and emitted a mysterious wave. Clearly, the young master of the Ghost Devil clan had come for the karmic fire of the Red Lotus and the endless tribulation chi. However, he didn't expect that Ling Xiao would take the karmic fire of the Red Lotus and refine the tribulation chi. Ling Xiao's heart skipped a beat. He quietly followed the young master of the Ghost Devil clan. If they could capture this young master of the Ghost Devil clan, perhaps Ling Xiao and Thunder Spirit King would be invincible. The young master of the Ghost Demon clan entered the space where the Red Lotus Hellfire and Tribulation Chi were stored. However, his expression darkened when he saw the scene before him. Damn it! My Red Lotus Karmic Fire, my Tribulation Chi. Who did it? The young master's voice was extremely cold. It contained a monstrous killing intent, causing the surrounding void to tremble violently. Crack! At this moment, Ling Xiao silently appeared behind the young master of the Ghost Devil clan. The Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos Tablet turned into a brick and slammed it on the back of the young master's head. Ling Xiao's heaven-shrouding secret technique was extremely mysterious. Even though Ling Xiao was behind him, the young master of the Ghost Devil clan did not notice him. Therefore, he was in a miserable situation. Ling Xiao took advantage of his distraction and attacked him while he was roaring furiously. Bang! The young master of the Ghost Devil clan staggered. Suddenly, he felt as if his head was about to be smashed by someone. Bastard, who attacked me sneakily? The young master of the Ghost Devil clan was furious. His eyes were filled with cold killing intent. Boom! 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 However, Ling Xiao did not pay attention to him. He held his breath and slammed the Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos Tablet a few more times. The young master of the Ghost Devil clan was smashed until his head was covered in blood and flesh. He was sent flying. This guy's head is so tough. Ling Xiao was surprised. His divine strength was unparalleled. Coupled with the power of the Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos Tablet, the young master of the Ghost Devil clan's head actually did not explode. This young master of the Ghost Devil clan's head was indeed very tough. Ah! I'm going to kill you. The young master of the Ghost Devil clan finally saw Ling Xiao's face clearly. His lungs were about to explode from anger. His face was distorted, and his eyes were filled with killing intent. With a flash of light, an ancient sickle appeared in his hand. He slashed it down at Ling Xiao. The young master of the Ghost Devil clan had a strong body. He was surrounded by a dense ghostly aura. His entire body was emitting a black luster, making his body look extremely tough. When the sickle slashed down, it was like a tiger stirring up wind. Boom! Ling Xiao raised the Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos Tablet and slammed it against the sickle. Instantly, a resplendent holy light spread out. Ling Xiao and the young master of the Ghost Devil clan both trembled and retreated at the same time. You're using the tribulation aura to refine your body? Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a trace of surprise. He realized that the young master of the Ghost Devil clan in front of him had also chosen to use the tribulation aura to refine his body. His body was incomparably strong, only slightly weaker than his own. Damn human ant, you're the one who stole this young master's Red Lotus fire and tribulation aura. Go to hell. The young master of the Ghost Devil clan was enraged to the extreme. The sickle in his hand was filled with ghostly aura. In an instant, it turned into a series of afterimages in the void and slashed down at Ling Xiao. Boom! 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 Ling Xiao held the Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos Tablet in his hand and engaged in an intense battle with the young master of the Ghost Devil clan. Every time they clashed, the void would shake, and a resplendent holy light would burst out. However, the more Ling Xiao fought, the braver he became. He realized that using the Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos Tablet as a brick was incomparably convenient. It could be used to smash the face, head, and even weapons away. It was practically tailor-made for Ling Xiao. After the young master of the Ghost Devil clan suffered a great loss in the hands of Ling Xiao, his attacks became even fiercer. The ghostly aura around him was dense, and he emitted a demonic sound that caused one's heart to tremble. It was constantly drilling into Ling Xiao's sea of consciousness. Break for me. Ling Xiao's eyes were incomparably sharp. He shouted loudly, and suddenly, the lightning around his body blazed. Streaks of purple lightning filled the sky, and a terrifying figure appeared behind him. Ling Xiao's aura began to surge, and it actually reached the level of the young master of the Ghost Devil clan. Then, streaks of terrifying lightning gathered on his fist, and he punched towards the young master of the Ghost Devil clan. Lightning Emperor's true body. Damn it! You're a disciple of the 9 Imperial Gates. The young master of the Ghost Devil clan's expression changed. His eyes were filled with monstrous killing intent as he stared at Ling Xiao. That's right. I'm the true disciple of the 9 Imperial Gates, Huang Wuji. Demon brat, prepare to die. I, Huang Wuji, have stolen your red lotus fire and tribulation aura. What can you do about it? Ling Xiao's eyes turned, and he suddenly sneered. His expression was extremely arrogant and brash. Chapter 1633. 9th Layer Emperor Limitless. You're dead, no one will be able to save you today. The young lord of Ghost Devil clan roared in anger. His eyes were cold, and his body was surrounded by a dense ghostly aura. The black scythe in his hand slashed down at Ling Xiao like a black crescent moon. Rumble. Ling Xiao's aura was incomparably terrifying. Bolts of lightning blazed around him. After condensing the Lightning Emperor's true body, he seemed to have become a part of the Lightning Dao. Each of his punches caused the sky to tremble violently. The lightning dispersed the ghostly aura that filled the sky and collided with the black scythe. The young lord of Ghost Devil clan trembled as he felt an unparalleled divine force attacking him. The black scythe almost flew out of his hand. The blazing lightning broke through the layers of ghostly aura and collided with the young lord's chest. Bang! A black rune exploded on his body, and he was sent flying. Damn it! The young lord of Ghost Devil clan's expression was ugly. He felt his body trembling. If it wasn't for the powerful soft armor on his body, he was afraid that this punch would have severely injured him. How could a kid at the Great Divine King realm be so strong? Kill! Ling Xiao's eyes were piercingly cold. The lightning around his body swept across the void. The Lightning Emperor's true body seemed to have merged with his body. In an instant, the sky was filled with lightning, turning into purple runes that contained destructive energy. They enveloped the young lord of Ghost Devil clan. At the same time, Ling Xiao grabbed the Heavenly Dao Primal Chaos tablet and slammed it on the young lord's face. Ling Xiao's cultivation had reached the Great Divine King realm. Although he had not crossed the Nirvana tribulation to reach the half-step saint realm, his body had been tempered by countless tribulations. His physical body was far stronger than the young lord of Ghost Devil clan. Coupled with the killing power of the Lightning Emperor technique, even the young lord of Ghost Devil clan who had reached the second revolution half-step saint realm fell into a disadvantageous position. Kill! The young lord of Ghost Devil clan roared. Ling Xiao was holding a treasure brick in his hand, and he actually smashed it on the young lord's face. His nose was almost crooked from anger. He was too arrogant. He didn't put the young master of the Ghost Devil clan in his eyes at all. An extremely terrifying aura exuded from his body in an instant. Streaks of black holy light filled the air as if it came from hell. It contained a power fluctuation that made one's heart tremble. In an instant, the wails of ghosts and howls of wolves resounded through the world. Black skulls appeared one after another and pounced toward Ling Xiao. Rumble. The skulls intertwined and formed a mysterious phantom of the Ghost Saint. It was powerful beyond compare and was not at a disadvantage when fighting against the Thunder Emperor's true body. The young master of the Ghost Devil clan's aura skyrocketed as his attacks became even sharper. The power of the black scythe seemed to have completely awakened. Rays of black light filled the skies as they slashed down on the heavenly Tao primal chaos tablet, causing an incomparably resplendent light to erupt. A divine light flashed in Ling Xiao's eyes as a divine rainbow flashed under his feet. In an instant, he teleported 1,000 zhang away. At Ling Xiao's original position, a mysterious skull silently appeared and exploded. The terrifying divine light caused the void to tremble violently as cracks appeared. The self-destruction of the black skulls was like the self-destruction of a sage-level expert. It was extremely terrifying. Ling Xiao's powerful physical strength erupted as his blood qi soared. Streaks of purple divine light lingered around him like purple divine dragons, causing Ling Xiao's aura to be incomparably shocking. Kacha! Ling Xiao held the heavenly Tao primal chaos tablet in his hand as if he was holding up an immemorial divine mountain. He directly sent the black scythe flying and broke through the layers of ghost qi as he slapped towards the young lord's face. Boom! 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 The black skulls rushed towards Ling Xiao, emitting a terrifying aura. However, Ling Xiao smashed them one by one with the heavenly Tao primal chaos tablet. In an instant, he was close to the young lord of Ghost Devil Clan. What? The young lord of Ghost Devil Clan's expression changed. He could not help but extend his arm to block the attack. With a crisp sound, his arm was directly broken. Boom! The young lord of Ghost Devil Clan's body was drenched in blood as he continuously flew backwards while coughing out blood. Damn it! Huang Wuji, I will not let you off. The young lord of Ghost Devil Clan's expression was very ugly. The young lord of Ghost Devil Clan's 9-layered imperial obelisk Huang Wuji's strength was too terrifying. Although he was unwilling, he knew that he might not be Huang Wuji's opponent. Whoosh! The young lord of Ghost Devil Clan's body flashed as he instantly flew out of the space within the stone tower and fled towards the outside. Where do you think you're going? Ling Xiao sneered as he similarly chased after the young lord. Rumble! The heaven and earth trembled as if the void was about to shatter. In the Red Lotus Valley, the Lightning Spirit King was fighting against 2 9th Revolution Sage-level experts of Ghost Devil Clan. The lightning was unparalleled and the aura was extremely terrifying. The young lord of Ghost Devil Clan's body flashed as he instantly appeared in the Red Lotus Valley. He then roared, "Kill this 9-layered imperial obelisk Huang Wuji for me." The 2 9th Revolution Sage-level experts of Ghost Devil Clan were slightly stunned. Their eyes revealed a trace of shock as they saw their young lord escaping in an extremely miserable state. Moreover, the one chasing after him was actually only a Divine King expert. However, after they heard the order of their young lord of Ghost Devil Clan, they instantly abandoned the Lightning Spirit King and rushed towards Ling Xiao. "Devil bastard, don't think of harming my master." Lightning Spirit King shouted loudly. Dazzling rays of light appeared in the hollow of his palm. The Divine Firmament Palace appeared in the sky in a flash. It was ancient and majestic, just like an immemorial divine mountain. The Divine Firmament World Annihilation Grand Matrix erupted and enveloped the 2 half-step saints of the Ghost Devil Clan as well as the young master of the Ghost Devil Clan. This was a flawless saint array. Its power was extremely terrifying. With the Lightning Spirit King's cultivation, it was enough to display the full power of the Divine Firmament Palace. Rays of saint brilliance curled up like divine chains. Moreover, the lightning was incomparably blazing, flickering with destructive fluctuations as it suppressed the 3 of them. What? The 2 9th Revolution Sage-level experts of Ghost Devil Clan could not help but change their expression. The power of the Divine Firmament world-destroying Great Array was too terrifying. Moreover, the Lightning Spirit King's attack was extremely tricky as it directly targeted the young lord of Ghost Devil Clan. Thus, they did not have the time to attack Ling Xiao. They could only protect the young lord of Ghost Devil Clan and try their best to resist the power of the Divine Firmament world-destroying Great Array. Rumble! Ghost Chi was eerie and the light was incomparably blazing. Waves of ghostly wails and howls came from the Divine Firmament world-destroying Great Array. The Lightning Spirit King's expression suddenly changed. He raised his head and looked at the sky above the Red Lotus Valley. There was a black whirlpool surging. Its aura was extremely terrifying, as if some kind of existence was about to step out from it. Not good. Master, I'm afraid that the ghost devil experts are about to teleport here. Should we retreat? The Lightning Spirit King said to Ling Xiao. All right. Anyway, we have taken enough advantage of them. Let's go. Chapter 1634. Kacha. After Ling Xiao disappeared, a black light shone down from the void. An old man in a black robe walked out of the ancient and vast black vortex. His aura was monstrous, causing the surrounding void to tremble violently. A vast Saint Dao aura spread out, causing the void of the entire Red Lotus Valley to solidify. The young lord of the Ghost Devil clan and the 2 Ninth Revolution half-saints revealed a look of reverence in their eyes. They bowed deeply and said, "Greetings, old ancestor. Who stole the Red Lotus karmic fire and tribulation chi?" An old and cold voice exploded in the void. It was incomparably terrifying. Old ancestor, it was the disciple of the 9 imperial gates, Huang Wuji. Not only did he steal all the Red Lotus karmic fire and tribulation chi, but he also destroyed the Red Lotus Valley base that we painstakingly built. The young lord of the Ghost Devil clan gnashed his teeth and said, 9 imperial gates, Huang Wuji. Damn it. It seems that after being silent for so long, many people have forgotten the existence of the Ghost Devil clan. All of you, come with me and kill 1,000 disciples of the 9 imperial gates to teach them a lesson. The black-robed old man said indifferently. His body was shrouded in dense ghost chi. His voice shook the heavens and the earth. It had a kind of terrifying power that was monstrous. Yes, old ancestor. The young lord of the Ghost Devil clan was ecstatic. The old ancestor of the Ghost Devil clan in front of him was a true saint's clone. He could be said to be an invincible existence in the divine devil space. His strength was unparalleled. If he personally took action, the 9 imperial gates would be in trouble. Whoosh! The black-robed old man waved his big sleeve. Immediately, the young lord of the Ghost Devil clan and the 2 Ninth Revolution half-saints were swept up and slowly disappeared into the void. The teleportation talisman had teleported Ling Xiao hundreds of thousands of miles away. This was a life-saving item that Ling Xiao had prepared long ago. Ling Xiao could feel the terrifying aura just now. He was afraid that a saint of the Ghost Devil clan had arrived. Even if a saint's cultivation was greatly suppressed in the divine devil space, it was still not something that ordinary people could contend against. A saint of the Ghost Devil clan has arrived. I'm afraid the divine devil space is going to be chaotic. Let's go. Ling Xiao said softly with a hint of shock in his eyes. In the space of gods and devils, the human clan and the devil clan had conflicts from time to time. There were also fierce battles between them, but most of them happened among the god realm experts. There weren't even many half-saint experts. Now that a saint from the Ghost Demon clan had arrived, Ling Xiao instinctively felt that something big was about to happen. Ling Xiao had stayed in the mythical space for more than half a year. He had obtained many opportunities and fortunes. Not only had he broken through to the great circle of the God King realm, but he had also obtained a large amount of tribulation chi, which allowed him to condense the indestructible tribulation seed. It was time to return to the sect. Whoosh! The purple lightning lion flashed and appeared in the wilderness. Ling Xiao jumped on the back of the purple lightning lion and sped towards Shangqing Ancient City. 4 days later, Ling Xiao returned to Shangqing Ancient City. As soon as he returned to Shangqing Ancient City, Ling Xiao felt an austere atmosphere. Everyone was in a hurry in Shangqing Ancient City. Moreover, there were many half-step saints. Especially the 4 immortal holy lands. Many half-step saints had appeared in Shangqing Ancient City. Ling Xiao only understood what had happened when he heard the discussions of the crowd. Have you heard? 3 days ago, the Ghost Demon clan attacked the Thunderstone mine of the 9 Imperial Gates. 381 disciples of the 9 Imperial Gates were all killed, including 3 true disciples. Isn't that so? I heard that it wasn't just the Ghost Demon clan. The Heavenly Fiend clan also sent experts to kill many disciples of the Five Elements Sacred Sect. I also heard that the Ghost Devil clan sent out a saint's clone and severely injured a 9-revolution half-saint from the Imperial Obelisk. If that 9-revolution half-saint didn't have a life-saving treasure, he would have died. This time, the 9 Imperial gates suffered the most among the 4 immortal Holy Lands. Many disciples died. Sigh, it's been a long time since a large-scale great war of the gods and devils broke out in the mythical space. Ling Xiao could hear the discussions of the crowd. The Ghost Demon clan sent out a saint's clone. It seems like the Ghost Demon clan is after something big. Ling Xiao's heart skipped a beat as he thought to himself. Master, the karmic fire of the Red Lotus and the Tribulation Chi can only be used by saints. I think the Ghost Demon clan in the Red Lotus Valley is collecting the karmic fire of the Red Lotus and the Tribulation Chi for the saints. However, saints usually don't dare to enter the mythical space. At most, they would send out their clones. Fortunately, we escaped quickly. Thunder Spirit King sighed with a hint of relief in his voice. If they were a few steps later, they wouldn't be able to escape when the Ghost Demon clan's saint's clone arrived. No matter what happens in the mythical space, it has nothing to do with us. Let's return to the War God Temple first. Ling Xiao said slowly. When Ling Xiao was about to return to the War God Temple, his eyes suddenly flashed as he saw an acquaintance in Shangqing Ancient City. He couldn't help but reveal a trace of surprise. It was a woman in green armor. She was valiant, and her figure was incomparably hot. However, the aura around her was extremely terrifying. Her cultivation had reached the 6th Revolution half-step saint. Chengying. Ling Xiao didn't expect to see Chengying here. Chengying also noticed Ling Xiao and revealed a trace of surprise in her eyes. She walked over and said, Junior Brother Long, you're still in the mythical space. Are you alright? Ling Xiao smiled and said, Thank you for your concern, Senior Sister Cheng. I'm fine. For the past half a year, I have been cultivating in the mythical space. It's good that you're fine. I heard that you were asked to enter the mythical space to carry out a mission by the Task Elder. Later, Shuehua also entered the mythical space. I was afraid that he would harm you, so I asked around for a while. Now that I see that you're fine, I'm relieved. Chengying pulled Ling Xiao aside and said vaguely. However, Ling Xiao understood the meaning behind Chengying's words. Chengying probably also thought that Shuehua would harm Ling Xiao. Senior Brother Shuehua. I haven't seen him. Senior Sister Cheng, why did you enter the mythical space? Ling Xiao said lightly. He concealed the matter of Shuehua's death and changed the topic. It's like this. In the past few days, the devil bastards have been very active in the mythical space. They have begun to cause chaos on a large scale, attacking and killing the disciples of the 4 immortal Holy Lands. The sect has also sent a few deputy palace masters and many true disciples to investigate the situation. I'm one of the leaders. Chengying said slowly. Then Senior Sister Cheng should be careful. I heard that the Ghost Demon clan has sent out a saint's clone. His strength is unparalleled. Senior Sister Cheng, it's best that you don't put yourself in danger. Ling Xiao said seriously. Don't worry. I'm only here to investigate the situation. However, if I can kill a few more devil bastards, I definitely won't miss it. However, there is a very strange matter. I wonder if you've heard of it. Chapter 1635. What is it? Ling Xiao asked. This time, the Ghost Demon clan seems to have gone mad. They are killing the disciples of the 9 Imperial Obelisk everywhere. It is said that a disciple called Huang Wuji stole the treasure of the Ghost Demon clan and killed many of their people. That is why the Ghost Demon clan is seeking revenge. However, the 9 Imperial Obelisk claimed that Huang Wuji was killed a few months ago. Someone must have pretended to be Huang Wuji and stole the treasure of the Ghost Demon clan. That person is most likely Huang Wuji's murderer. However, the 9 imperial obelisk has suffered heavy losses. This time, they have sent out many experts to hunt down the ghost demon clan. Chen Ying said slowly. Huang Wuji. I have never heard of him. Ling Zhao's eyes revealed a strange look. He did not expect the ghost demon clan to blame the 9 imperial obelisk for causing such a ruckus in the Red Lotus Valley. However, it seemed that Huang Wuji held a high position in the 9 imperial obelisk. Since there were experts from the 9 imperial obelisk who were looking for Huang Wuji's murderer, Ling Zhao became vigilant. Junior brother Long, there is only a month before the opening of the Flipping Sky Seal. If you can't condense the Calamity Seed, the chances of you competing with Zhan Tianqing will be slim. Chen Ying said hesitantly. Senior sister Cheng, don't worry. I have obtained some opportunities in the mythical space and have condensed the Calamity Seed. This time, I will completely control the Flipping Sky Seal and become the master of the battle hall. Ling Zhao said with a faint smile. There was a strong sense of confidence in his eyes. You have condensed the Calamity Seed? Junior brother Long. You are indeed a person with great opportunities. Then I, your senior sister, will wait and see. Chen Ying's eyes lit up and she smiled. Ling Zhao and Chen Ying chatted for a while before they bade each other farewell. Chen Ying still had a mission to investigate the ghost demon clan's movements. Ling Zhao was preparing to return to the sect to prepare for the opening of the Flipping Sky Seal. Buzz! A bright light bloomed. Ling Zhao returned to the battle hall through the teleportation formation in the Shangqing ancient city. Shui Hua and the others are already dead. This is troublesome. I will not go to the mission hall for now. Let's return to Battle Mountain. Ling Zhao thought to himself. Wang Chuan, Lu Xian, Wei Zhen, and Wei Xing had all died in the hands of the Ghost Devil clan's geniuses. Shui Hua, on the other hand, was personally killed by Ling Zhao. After all, Ling Zhao had gone on a mission with Wang Chuan and the other 3. Now that Wang Chuan and the other 3 were dead, the mission elder would definitely find trouble with him. Not handing in the mission was equivalent to failing the mission. As long as the time limit was exceeded, there would be some punishment. It was nothing more than a deduction of the corresponding contribution points. Ling Zhao didn't take it to heart. Therefore, Ling Zhao simply ignored the problem of the mission and left the teleportation portal to return to Battle Mountain. After Ling Zhao returned to Zhan Mountain, a white-robed disciple who was guarding the teleportation formation turned around and flew towards Lei Shan. Tianqing Peak was Zhan Tianqing's cave abode. The Tianqing Peak was incomparably beautiful. Spiritual energy permeated the air, and ancient trees towered into the sky. An ancient and majestic palace sat on top of the mountain, emitting a resplendent light. It was as if the starlight from the 9 heavens had been drawn down. It was gorgeous and dazzling. When the white-robed disciple arrived at the Tianqing Peak, he directly entered the palace. He didn't even dare to look at the figure at the top and knelt down deeply. Greetings, senior brother Zhan. Long Outyen has returned from the mythical space. He should have returned to Battle Hall by now. The white-robed disciple's eyes were filled with reverence. At the top of the palace, Zhan Tianqing was wearing a purple battle suit. His face was handsome and his temperament was otherworldly. When he opened and closed his eyes, it was as if there was a resplendent river of stars twinkling, vast and deep. Other than Zhan Tianqing, there was also a charming girl in a long dress. Her figure was hot and her skin was whiter than snow. Her every frown and smile exuded a myriad of emotions. She was Tang Fei's sister, Tang Yao. Long Outyen. Good. Very good. Zhan Tianqing's eyes revealed a trace of coldness as he spoke indifferently. Senior brother Zhan, this Long Outyen really deserves to die. I have already checked. There is no disciple called Hu Qing in our Thunder Hall. According to senior brother's description, the Hu Qing that senior brother met must be Long Outyen. Tang Yao sneered coldly. Has it been confirmed that Shui Hua and Wang Chuan are all dead? Zhan Tianqing asked indifferently. Senior brother Zhan, I have personally gone to the Primordial Spirit Hall to check. Shui Hua and Wang Chuan are indeed dead. In my opinion, it must be that little bastard Long Out Yen who did it. This kind of scum who kills his fellow senior brothers must die. Tang Yao said coldly with a trace of killing intent in her eyes. Shui Hua and Wang Chuan were the people she sent into the mythical space to kill Ling Xiao. In the end, Ling Xiao was completely fine while Shui Hua and Wang Chuan's souls were completely scattered. She was both shocked and resentful towards Ling Xiao. This Divine King Realm Prodisciple's strength was a little too frightening. Very good. Since it is confirmed, let's report it to the Tribunal Council. Arrest Long Out Yen and punish him. Our War God Temple does not need scum who kills his fellow disciples. Doesn't he want to control the flipping sky seal? But he can't wait for a month. Zhan Tianqing said indifferently with a trace of cold killing intent in his voice. Zhan Tianqing was very unhappy that he had been tricked by Ling Xiao in the Divine Firmament Palace. He had a vague guess that perhaps the Divine Firmament Saint's inheritance had already fallen into Long Out Yen's hands. No matter what, Long Out Yen must die. Senior brother Zhan, don't worry. You are the future War God Temple Master. The flipping sky seal is yours. No one can take it away from you. Tang Yao's eyes were filled with admiration. She knew that if it were not for the flipping sky seal, Zhan Tianqing would have broken through to the 7th or 8th refinement half-sage and become the 4th saint of the War God Temple. Zhan Tianqing had forcefully suppressed his cultivation level to the peak of the 6th refinement half-sage in order to control the flipping sky seal and become the War God Temple Master. One had to know that the status of a Hall Master was much higher than that of a saint. Especially the War God Temple. Although the War God Temple had declined, it had been the most powerful one among the 9 branches of the War God Temple a million years ago. Almost all the previous war gods had come from the War God Temple. Zhan Tianqing's first step was naturally to control the flipping sky seal and become the War God Temple Master. The second step was to stabilize the War God's position. In Tang Yao's heart, even if the other 3 saints of the War God Temple were very powerful, they were still far from being Zhan Tianqing's match. Tang Yao left Tianqing Peak and headed toward the Tribunal Council. Chapter 1636. War Mountain was still as desolate as ever. Ling Xiao rode on top of the violet lightning lion and turned into a ray of light. He landed in front of the old and dilapidated temple on top of War Peak. He had been cultivating in the Divine Devil space for half a year. He didn't know if his first senior brother and the others had undergone any changes. Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a hint of anticipation. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he frowned. He felt that other than the auras of Tian Gang, Xian Wang, and Tai Niu, there were 2 other powerful and unfamiliar auras that emitted a faint divine radiance. Half-saint experts and true disciples. But why would the true disciples of the other temples come to War Mountain? You're finally back. Come out quickly. Look, this guy is back. I told you that he's very lucky. It's impossible for him to die outside so easily. On top of Mount Zhan, the black donkey looked around with a hint of pleasant surprise in its eyes. It immediately let out a loud cry. Junior brother Long is back. Soon, Tian Gang, Xian Wang, and Zhou Doji came out of the cave. When they saw Ling Xiao, they immediately revealed an incomparably excited expression and hurried over. Eldest senior brother, has everything been fine in the battle hall while I was away? Ling Xiao smiled as he looked at Tian Gang. War Temple, is fine. Tian Gang wanted to say something but hesitated. However, he still smiled bitterly. How is it fine? Our cave has been taken by those 2 bad guys. Tai Niu said in a muffled voice. There was a hint of indignation in his eyes. What's going on? Ling Xiao frowned as a trace of coldness appeared in his eyes. But before Tian Gang could say anything, an incomparably ear-piercing voice rang out. Is this the true disciple Long Out Yen that you were talking about? A mere divine king can become a true disciple. It seems like War Temple is getting worse and worse. 2 young men in red robes walked out from a stone house in the distance. The two of them looked somewhat similar. The aura around them was blazing as if there were flames flowing around them. It made people feel a scorching heat wave spreading out. Both of them were second revolution half-saint experts. At this moment, they were staring coldly at Ling Xiao with a trace of disdain in their eyes. Who are you? Why are you in War Temple? Ling Xiao's gaze turned cold as he stared at the two young men in red robes. The two of them looked very presumptuous. They actually occupied the cave mansions of the Battle Temple. It was as if they didn't put the Battle Temple in their eyes at all. There was also an arrogant expression on their faces. Junior brother Long, these two are the prodisciples of Fire Hall, Gung Long and Gung Hu. They are a pair of twin brothers. Both of them have obtained the inheritance mark of the Flipping Sky Seal. Nominally, they are the prodisciples of Battle Hall. They came to Battle Hall in advance for the opening of the Flipping Sky Seal in a month. They are. Tian Gang transmitted his voice to Ling Xiao. Senior brother Long, these two are bad guys. They took over our cave dwelling. Senior brother Tiangang went to reason with them, but he was injured by them. Tai Niu was the most straightforward. Now that Ling Xiao had returned, he didn't care about anything else. He immediately spilled the beans. Long Outyen, we are your senior brothers. Why aren't you greeting your senior brothers? Why are you still standing there in a daze? War Temple is indeed filled with a bunch of uncultured people who don't know etiquette. Gung Long sneered at Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao slowly raised his head. He glanced at Gung Long and Gung Hu indifferently and said, "You've forcefully taken over my Battle Hall's dwelling and injured my senior brother, Tian Gang. You're acting like a tyrant in my Battle Hall. Who gave you the confidence and backing?" Although Ling Xiao's voice was calm, those who knew him knew that he was on the verge of exploding with rage. Gung Long and Gung Hu's arrogance had completely infuriated Ling Xiao. Junior brother Long, don't be rash. They are second revolution half-saint experts. You are not their match. Just bear with it and wait for the great elder to return. Zhou Daoji hurriedly tried to persuade Ling Xiao. Although Ling Xiao was strong and they had great confidence in him, Gung Long and Gung Hu were second revolution half-saint experts. Moreover, the two brothers were telepathic. If they joined forces, they could even fight against a third revolution half-saint. They were afraid that Ling Xiao would be too impulsive. If they fought, Ling Xiao would definitely be at a disadvantage. Damn it, Long Outyen. Stop pretending in front of us. We can come and go as we please. Even if we took over your cave dwelling, what can you do? The disciples of War Temple don't know the rules. I helped you teach them a lesson. It is your fortune. Even if I injured him, what can you do? Gung Long sneered and cursed. His eyes were filled with disdain. That's right. Long Outyen, how dare you speak to us in such a tone? Kneel down and apologize. Otherwise, don't blame us for being impolite. Gung Hu sneered. Very well. Ling Xiao suddenly raised his head and stared at Gung Long and Gung Hu expressionlessly. I originally thought that if the two of you apologized, I would forgive you. But now, I have changed my mind. Kneel down and apologize. Each of you will be slapped 100 times. Then, get out of the mountain and I will pretend that nothing happened. Or else. Or else what? Long Outyen, I think you are tired of living. You want us to kneel down and apologize to you? We will do as you say. Kneel down and apologize. Then, slap 100 times and I will forgive you. Gung Long and Gung Hu's eyes turned cold as they stared at Ling Xiao ferociously. Looks like the two of you still don't understand the situation. Ling Xiao suddenly sighed. His eyes shone brightly as he turned into a golden lightning bolt. His speed was extremely fast. The heavenly primal chaos tablet turned into a brick and he slammed it towards Gung Long and Gung Hu's faces. You are courting death. Gung Long and Gung Hu's faces turned cold. They never thought that Long Outyen, who was only a divine king, would dare to attack them. He was simply tired of living. Rumble. Gung Long slammed his palm forward. Suddenly, a blazing flame rose and a huge flaming dragon gushed out from his palm. The dragon roared and charged towards Ling Xiao. Gung Long was a second revolution half-step saint. He practiced the sacred burning heaven technique of the fire temple. He could swallow and spit out the true fire of the heavens and earth. His strength was unparalleled. He could burn the sky and extinguish the earth. A sea of fire suddenly covered the sky above the war mountain. Tiangang and the rest shuddered as their eyes revealed an incomparably anxious expression. Chapter 1637. Astral Vault had once fought with Gung Long. He had used his full strength and even a portion of his bloodline power, but he was still defeated by Gung Long in a single move. Although Gung Long was stronger than him, there was a limit to it, right? Rumble. The sea of fire was boiling in the void. The flaming dragon was emitting a ferocious aura as it pounced towards Ling Xiao as if it wanted to burn him into ashes. Ling Xiao was calm and his eyes were deep. He held the Heavenly Tao Chaotic Tablet in his hand and unleashed his unparalleled divine energy to destroy the flaming dragon. Ling Xiao's body emitted a terrifying aura like an ancient god beast that had just awoken. His blood qi soared into the sky and after the Heaven Tao Primal Chaos Tablet exploded the flame dragon, he was bathed in flames and directly appeared in front of Gung Long, slapping him on the face. Puff! Gung Long let out a blood-curdling scream. His face instantly became a bloody mess as he was sent flying. His eyes were filled with disbelief. Damn it! This is a flawless holy treasure. How can you be so strong? Gung Long's face was distorted as he directly smashed into the mountain wall in the distance. Suddenly, the mountain shook and the void trembled. If it wasn't for the protection of a powerful formation, a hole would have been smashed into the mountain. Gung Long's face was distorted. Junior brother Long is so strong. Zhou Daoji and the others were stunned. Their eyes were filled with joy. They were worried that Ling Xiao would not be a match for Gung Long. After all, the gap between the Divine King realm and the Sage-to-be realm was too big. However, the result was out of their expectations. Junior brother Long has broken through to the great Divine King realm. This kind of cultivation speed is truly astounding. Tiangang exclaimed in surprise. Ling Xiao had concealed his aura before he attacked, so he did not notice Ling Xiao's cultivation level. Only now did he realize that Ling Xiao had reached the great Divine King realm. In less than a year, Ling Xiao had reached the great Divine King realm from the early Divine King realm. He had broken through 4 small realms. Although everyone knew that Ling Xiao was talented, they were still shocked. Whoosh! Gung Long leaped up. Although he looked very miserable, his face was incomparably distorted. His eyes were filled with cold killing intent and greed. He stared at the Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos Tablet in Ling Xiao's hand and said, Long Outyen, hand over the flawless holy treasure in your hand to me and I can spare your life. Otherwise, today will be the day you die. The power of the Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos Tablet was too terrifying. He didn't think that Ling Xiao had the strength to defeat him. Everything was attributed to the Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos Tablet. Even he himself didn't have a flawless saint artifact. This brat who was only at the God King realm actually had a flawless saint artifact. This filled him with jealousy and greed. Big brother, why are you wasting your breath on him? Just kill him and take back the intact holy treasure. Gung Hu's eyes were also cold. He didn't expect Gung Long to be sent flying by Ling Xiao in one move. He couldn't hold it in any longer and leaped into the air, wanting to kill Ling Xiao. Roar! But at this moment, a terrifying beast roar rang out, shaking the heavens. In an instant, the wind and clouds changed color, and lightning flashed. The originally calm purple lightning lion roared towards the sky, and a huge lion claw emitted a cold purple light, covering the sky as it slammed towards Gung Hu. The purple lightning lion's roar was a powerful sound wave divine ability. Its power was extremely terrifying and could directly shake the primordial spirit. Gung Hu was caught off guard and was immediately stunned by the lion's roar. Then, he was slammed down from the sky by the purple lightning lion. Bang! Gung Hu was slammed onto the mountain. His body was about to fall apart. He suddenly spat out a mouthful of blood and his eyes were filled with shock and anger. This lion, actually has the cultivation of a third revolution half-saint? Tiangang and the others were completely shocked. They stood there as if they were petrified. Ling Zhao's strength had skyrocketed, and he had defeated Gung Long in one move. That wasn't the end of their shock. Ling Zhao's mount, the purple lightning lion, looked harmless, but its attack was so terrifying that it had reached the cultivation of the third revolution half-saint. Purple lightning lion? Isn't this guy's luck too good? How did he manage to make a third-level half-saint purple lightning lion willingly become his mount? Black Donkey also widened his eyes, his face full of disbelief. Looks like we were worried for nothing. Junior brother Long's strength is indeed terrifying. He doesn't do things that he's not confident in. These two bastards are going to suffer. Wang Lin and the others also laughed and let go of the worries in their hearts. Bastard, you're courting death. Gung Hu was about to go crazy. Flames seemed to be spewing out from his body. He also cultivated the sacred sky burning technique. He jumped up from the mountain and punched towards the purple lightning lion. Not good. Second brother, dodge. Gung Long's face changed. He suddenly felt an incomparably terrifying aura erupting from the purple lightning lion. The purple fur on the purple lightning lion's body stood up like purple steel needles, sharp and unparalleled. A purple lightning ball instantly shot out from the purple lightning lion's mouth, intertwining with lightning, containing an aura that could destroy everything, flying towards Gung Hu. Kacha! After Gung Hu's punch exploded the purple thunder ball, the lightning in the sky bloomed and turned into purple divine light, enveloping Gung Hu's body. Gung Hu's face changed instantly. He felt that the purple divine light contained the power to pierce through everything. It immediately broke through his divine shield and fell on his body, causing his body to tremble violently. His flesh was badly mutilated, and his whole body seemed to be paralyzed. Bang! The purple lightning lion swatted Gung Hu down from the void with its lion claw. His whole body smashed into the hard mountain, and his aura became sluggish. The purple lightning lion's cultivation was at the third revolution half-saint realm. During this period of time, the Thunder Spirit King had been constantly guiding it, allowing it to release the power it had accumulated for countless years. It was about to break through to the fourth revolution half-saint realm. Although Gung Hu's strength was not bad, it was not enough in front of the purple lightning lion. I'll kill you. Gung Long was completely enraged. His eyes flashed with murderous intent. A golden spear appeared in his hand, flowing with blazing flames. It crossed the sky and pierced towards the purple lightning lion. Don't you want this flawless saint treasure? Come, I'll give it to you. Ling Xiao smiled faintly, and a trace of sharpness appeared in his eyes. Boom! Chapter 1638. Bang! Gung Long's expression changed. The Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos Tablet's power was too terrifying. The golden spear in his hand wanted to block it, but it exploded in an instant. His entire body was smashed down by the Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos Tablet. He spat out blood and his entire body became a mess of flesh and blood. The Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos Tablet weighed millions of catties. Although Gung Long was a second revolution half-saint, he could not withstand the power of the Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos Tablet. He was directly suppressed. Boom! The War Mountain trembled and emitted a mysterious light. It was as if some kind of power was about to awaken. The mountain was filled with sparkling light. That was the holy imprint left behind by the saints of the War Hall. It turned the War Mountain into a place similar to a holy treasure. It was indestructible. Gung Long and Gung Hu were suppressed by Yi Shiwen. Their faces were filled with disbelief and anger. This was a great humiliation for them. They were suppressed by a divine king brat. If this news spread out, they would become the laughingstock of all the disciples. Long Out Yen, you're dead. You beat up a senior without permission. You didn't follow the sect rules. Wait for the punishment from the law enforcement hall. Gung Long and Gung Hu roared. Their eyes were filled with anger. Whoosh! The heavenly Tao primal chaos tablet flashed and turned into a ray of light that flew back into Ling Xiao's palm. Following Ling Xiao's signal, the purple lightning lion also retracted its lion claws and released Gung Hu. Long Outyen, you're only letting us go now. It's too late. Let me tell you, unless you give me the holy treasure and your mount and kneel down and apologize to us, we'll let you go. Otherwise, no one will be able to save you. Gung Long sneered. He thought Ling Xiao was afraid, so he let them go. Pa! However, before he could finish, Ling Xiao slapped him. Purple lightning flashed and Ling Xiao's hand was extremely fast. He slapped Gung Long's face and sent him flying. You want my holy treasure? Ling Xiao sneered and sent out another slap. Bastard! Long Outyen, I won't let you go. Gung Long fainted from the slap. When he came back to his senses, he was so angry that his whole body was trembling. His eyes were filled with an expression that looked like he was about to devour someone. Rumble. He was surrounded by holy light, and flames rose into the air as he threw a punch at Ling Xiao's palm. However, there was only a crisp sound. Ling Xiao's palm contained an incomparably terrifying power, directly breaking his arm. Another slap landed on his face. You want my mount? Pa! Gung Long's face was slapped again. You want me to kneel and apologize? Pa! Gung Long's teeth were all broken. You want to take over the cave abode of my battle hall? Injured senior brother Tiangang? Aren't you awesome? Come and fight back. Ling Xiao sneered. Every time he asked a question, he would slap Gung Long. Gung Long's face was swollen like a pig's head, and he could not speak clearly. There was no way for him to defend himself. Although Ling Xiao had not undergone the Nirvana tribulation, his body had been tempered by the tribulation chi, and he had condensed the indestructible tribulation seed. The strength of his physical body was comparable to a sixth revolution half-saint, or even stronger. A second revolution half-saint was no match for him. If Ling Xiao had not shown mercy, with his current strength, he would have smashed Gung Long's head with a single slap. Even so, Gung Long was still beaten to an incomparably miserable state by Ling Xiao. His entire body was a bloody mess, and his original appearance could no longer be seen. Even Gung Hu, who had been cursing the entire time, trembled all over, and a trace of fear appeared in his eyes. Too ruthless. Long Outyen was simply too cruel. When Gung Long was sent flying by Ling Xiao like a dead dog, Ling Xiao's gaze landed on Gung Hu. He could not help but shiver all over. You! What are you trying to do? Gung Hu's eyes were filled with vigilance. He stared at Ling Xiao as he retreated. His words were somewhat stuttering. Gung Long, I've already had my fill. Now, it's your turn. What do you think I'm trying to do? Ling Xiao said indifferently. His gaze was very calm, but it made Gung Hu want to cry. He shuddered when he thought of the fate of his brother. Gung Long, I'm telling you, don't come over. Long Outyen, get out of my way. Gung Hu's face was incomparably ugly, and his voice sounded like he was about to cry as he shouted at Ling Xiao. Tiangang and the others were dumbfounded. Were these still the arrogant and despotic Gung Long and Gung Hu? They had actually become like this in front of Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao had scared them so much that they were about to cry. However, everyone was feeling very good. It was simply too good. The grievances they had suffered for the past few days had dissipated by quite a bit. Whoosh! However, at this moment, the sound of something breaking through the air rang in everyone's ears. More than 10 figures with powerful auras flew over from outside the War Mountain. Each of them had a cold expression, and they emitted a monstrous killing intent. It's the people from the law enforcement hall. Tiangang's face changed slightly, and his gaze became somewhat serious. The black-robed people were actually all half-step saints. Although they were only low-level half-step saints, their strength was extremely terrifying. The black-robed middle-aged man in the lead had a cold gaze and a gloomy temperament. He was actually a 6th revolution half-step saint. Beside the black-robed middle-aged man was a charming woman. She had a fiery figure, snow-white skin, and an extremely beautiful face. She emitted a myriad of emotions, but at this moment, her face was filled with coldness. Tang Yao had arrived with the law enforcement hall's people. When Gung Long and Gung Hu saw the arrival of the law enforcement hall's disciples, they were immediately overjoyed. It was as if they had seen their saviors, and they hurriedly shouted. "Fellow law enforcement hall's senior brothers, save us!" Long Outyen didn't respect his senior brothers and didn't abide by the sect's rules. He wantonly attacked us and seriously injured us. Fellow law enforcement hall's senior brothers, please uphold justice for us. Tian Gang and the others' hearts sank. With the law enforcement hall's aggressive appearance, they could tell with a single glance that nothing good would come out of it. They couldn't help but begin to worry. The black-robed middle-aged man was called Lu Hun. He was a protector of the law enforcement hall, and his position was second only to the vice hall master of the law enforcement hall. Not only was he powerful, but he also held great authority. It was said that he was vicious and merciless. As long as someone fell into his hands, even if they didn't die, they would lose a layer of skin. Even the true disciples were wary of him. Tang Yao was afraid of Ling Zhao's strength, so she invited Protector Lu Hun over. However, when they saw Gung Long and Gung Hu's appearance, they revealed a trace of surprise on their faces. Gung Long and Gung Hu were 2nd Revolution half-step saints, while Long Outyen was only a divine king. However, Gung Long and Gung Hu said that Ling Zhao had injured them. Lu Hun and Tang Yao found it hard to believe. Chapter 1639. Don't worry, Tang Yao. No matter who it is, I won't let him off if he violates the sect's rules. Lu Hun said indifferently with a cold expression. Ling Zhao frowned. The disciples of the law enforcement hall were obviously here for him. After hearing the pretty girl's words, a cold light flashed in his eyes. Tang Yao. When Ling Zhao interrogated Xuehua's primordial spirit, Tang Yao was the one who ordered Xuehua to get rid of him. He didn't expect that Tang Yao would accuse him first and bring the law enforcement hall disciples to War Mountain. You're Long Outyen. Lu Hun looked at Ling Zhao coldly. I'm Long Outyen. Who are you? Ling Zhao said indifferently. Long Outyen, this is Lu Hun, the law enforcement hall's law enforcement hall. You killed Xuehua, Wang Chuan, Lu Xian, Wei Zhen and Wei Xing in the divine devil space. Why aren't you kneeling down and confessing? Tang Yao's eyes were cold as she looked at Ling Zhao condescendingly. Her voice was like a thunderclap, containing a powerful sound wave ability, causing Tian Gang and the others to turn pale. However, the majority of the power was still directed at Ling Zhao, attempting to shock his mind. But to Tang Yao's disappointment, Ling Zhao's expression was calm as if he wasn't affected at all. What a joke. You said that I killed them. What evidence do you have? Empty words are rare. In my war god temple, it's a serious crime to accuse a fellow disciple. Do you want to have a taste of the divine whip? Ling Zhao sneered. He wasn't intimidated by Tang Yao's words. Wang Chuan, Lu Xian, Wei Zhen and Wei Xing were all killed by the geniuses of the Ghost Devil clan. Only Xuehua died in Ling Zhao's hands. However, with the sky-devouring secret technique, Xuehua had completely disappeared from this world. As long as Ling Zhao didn't admit it, he wasn't afraid of the law enforcement hall's questioning. The law enforcement hall needed evidence to enforce the law. Moreover, Tang Yao was the culprit. Ling Zhao hadn't even gone to find trouble with her, but she had already accused him. The expressions of Tian Gang and the rest changed. Killing a fellow disciple was a huge crime. A light punishment would be crippling one's cultivation and expelling one from the sect. A heavy punishment would be having one's soul scattered. Now that they saw the people from the law enforcement hall coming in such a menacing manner, they became extremely worried. Long Outyen, you're about to die. Are you still not going to confess? The mission elder sent Wang Chuan, Lu Xian, Wei Zhen, and Wei Xing with you to carry out the mission to kill the geniuses of the Ghost Devil clan. However, they died and you are still alive. Did you collude with the Ghost Devil clan and kill your fellow disciples? Quickly confess. Tang Yao sneered. Of course, she did not have any evidence. However, Lu Han was the king of hell. As long as Long Outyen fell into his hands, he could interrogate Long Outyen through torture. Long Outyen, you have committed a heinous crime. How could a scum like you be worthy of becoming a true disciple of the War God Temple? Senior Sister Tang, Lu Han, we can testify that Long Outyen was unruly and arrogant. We tried to persuade him out of goodwill, but he attacked us and severely injured us. Gung Long and Gung Hu seemed to have found their savior. They hated Ling Xiao to the core. At this moment, they did not mind slandering Ling Xiao. They wanted to convict him of the crime. Shut up. Ling Xiao's gaze turned cold as he scolded Tang Yao. Who do you think you are? How dare you accuse me? If you can't produce any evidence, then get lost. You're courting death. Tang Yao's expression turned ugly, and a cold killing intent flashed in her eyes. Being reprimanded by Ling Xiao in front of so many people made her even angrier. Tang Yao, leave it to me. Lu Han, who had been silent, suddenly stopped Tang Yao. All right. Then I'll have to trouble you, Lu Han. Tang Yao took a deep breath and bowed to Lu Han. Lu Quan was dressed in a black robe. His entire body was emitting a cold baleful aura. His aura was sinister. His eyes were like a venomous snake. Cold light shot out in all directions. Being glanced at by him made people feel uncomfortable. Long Outyen, you went on a mission with Wang Chuan, Lu Xian, Wei Zhen, and Wei Xing, but all of them died. You are the prime suspect. Please come with us to the enforcement hall to be interrogated and investigated. Do not resist. If you dare to resist, you will suffer a terrible fate. Lu Han's voice was incomparably cold. He looked down at Ling Xiao condescendingly. There was an unquestionable fluctuation in his voice. Lu Han, although I went on a mission with the four of them, we split up after entering the Divine Devil space. Now that they are dead, it could be that they were killed by the geniuses of the Ghost Devil clan. It could also be that they died in the Divine Devil space. What does it have to do with me? Even if I am suspicious, I am a true disciple of the War God Temple. The 130th commandment of the War God Temple states that a true disciple cannot be questioned by anyone below the rank of Temple Master unless there is concrete evidence to prove that he has betrayed the temple and killed his fellow disciples. I'm afraid that you don't have the qualifications to bring me back to the law enforcement hall for questioning. If you want to bring me back for questioning, you should ask the law enforcement elder to come here personally. Ling Xiao sneered coldly. He could see that Lu Han was pretending to be official, but in reality, he was in cahoots with Tang Yao. Ling Xiao naturally would not agree to bring him back for questioning without saying anything. The true disciples of the War God Temple were the future of the War God Temple. They had a high status. If the law enforcement elder wanted to punish a true disciple, he would have to personally come forward. As for the Holy Son of the War God Temple, his status was even higher. He would have to be personally dealt with by the War God Supreme. Lu Han's gaze and expression turned even colder. There was indeed such a rule in the War God Temple. However, Ling Xiao saying that Lu Han did not have the qualifications in front of everyone was like a slap to his face. This made him furious. After all, in Lu Han's opinion, although Ling Xiao was a true disciple of the War God Temple, his cultivation was only at the Divine King realm. Moreover, the War God Temple was incomparably weak. It could be said that the War God Temple did not have much of a presence. He never thought that Ling Xiao would dare to reject him. You're right. There is indeed such a rule in the commandment. However, you are only at the Divine King realm. There is no need for the law enforcement elder to come forward. You are suspected of murdering a fellow disciple. Now, you have even beaten up 2 senior brothers of the Fire God Temple in front of everyone. This is a heinous crime. If you know what's good for you, come with me obediently. Otherwise, don't blame me for being impolite. Lu Hun's gaze was cold. A terrifying aura spread out from his body. The vast holy aura was so powerful that it caused the surrounding void to tremble slightly. Chapter 1640. Protector Lu, although I'm only a divine king, I can't fake my identity as a pro-disciple. If you have evidence to prove that I'm the one who killed those disciples, I'll leave with you right now. However, you don't have the right to interrogate me based on your guesses. Get the enforcement elder to come here personally. Ling Xiao said flatly as he stared at Lu Hun. Long Out Yen, how dare you? You want the enforcement elder to come here personally? Do you think you're worthy? Tang Yao sneered. That's right. Long Out Yen, you didn't follow the rules of the sect and beat up your senior. You're too arrogant and despotic. Kneel down and admit your guilt before leaving with Protector Lu. Gung Long said with hatred in his eyes. Long Out Yen, this is the enforcement token. Anyone who sees it will be treated as if the enforcement elder is here personally. If you know what's good for you, you'd better come with me. Otherwise, don't blame me for being rude. Lu Hun said coldly as the aura around him became more and more terrifying. You're going too far. Without any evidence, why are you taking junior brother Long away? Tian Gang said furiously. That's right. If you want to take senior brother Long away, you'll have to go through me first. Baddies like you, when the great elder returns, you'll all be beaten up. Tai Niu said in a muffled voice. At this moment, everyone was angry and sullen. The weakness of the battle hall was fully displayed here. The battle hall was one of the 9 factions. How could the enforcement hall dare to go to the other 8 factions to capture someone? It was precisely because there was no one in the battle hall that they dared to act so presumptuously. A mere law enforcement hall protector dared to look down on the battle hall in such a brazen manner. This made everyone feel as if they had a common enemy. Ha ha ha. It's just an enforcement token. It's not like the enforcement elder is here personally. Lu Hun, I'll say it one last time. You don't have the right to make me go to the enforcement hall. Now, please get out of the battle hall. The battle hall doesn't welcome you. Ling Xiao laughed as he suppressed the anger in his heart. He didn't even bother to address Lu Hun as Protector Lu and just called him by his name. Long Out Yen, you dare to go against the enforcement hall's order? Very well. I'd like to see what kind of strength you have to be so arrogant. Where are the enforcement disciples? Capture him. Anyone who dares to resist will be killed without mercy. Lu Hun bellowed. His eyes were filled with killing intent. He was used to being high and mighty. There were hundreds of thousands of disciples in the War God Temple. Even true disciples had to be respectful and courteous when they saw him. When had he ever been belittled or even scolded like this? Especially since Ling Xiao was only a divine king. Even though he was rumored to be very strong, Lu Hun did not take him seriously at all. Kill! 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 As soon as Lu Hun finished speaking, the dozen law enforcers in black robes shouted at the same time. The word kill shook the sky like thunder, causing the entire mountain to tremble. Their faces were cold, and their eyes were filled with murderous intent. Their expressions were cold as they stared at Ling Xiao. Murderous aura spread out from their bodies and locked onto Ling Xiao, who was in the center. These law enforcement disciples were all half-saints. The most powerful 2 of them had even reached the cultivation of 3 revolution half-saints. Moreover, their auras intertwined with each other as if they had condensed into a single entity. Their strength was terrifying. Just the shockwave alone was enough to make Tian Gang and Zhou Daoji tremble, and their faces turned pale. Ha ha ha. Good. Very good. Lu Hun, how dare you abuse your power and be so arrogant? Do you really think that there is no one in the War God Temple that can stand up to you? Today, I really want to experience just how strong the so-called law enforcement disciples are. Ling Xiao's eyes shone brightly as he laughed out loud. His aura soared, and there was no trace of fear in his eyes. You're courting death. Tang Yao sneered. These law enforcement disciples were all elites who had gone through countless mountains of blades and seas of fire. They had killed their way out from piles of corpses. Their talent might not be very strong, but they were resolute. Their killing intent overflowed into the heavens, and their attacks were ruthless. Even the true disciples of the war god Hall were unwilling to face them. These law enforcement disciples could even fight against a fourth revolution half-saint if they worked together. She did not think that Ling Xiao, who was just a divine king, could withstand the attacks of these law enforcement disciples. It was only a matter of time before he was defeated. Take him down. Lu Han waved his hand and said coldly. Swoosh. The law enforcement disciples were immediately surrounded by holy light and murderous aura as they pounced towards Ling Xiao. Boom. Holy light intertwined in the void and murderous aura rose like a chaotic ocean. The terrifying aura seemed to be able to turn all life into ashes. The law enforcement disciples attacked at the same time. Their aura was extremely terrifying and it shook the heavens and earth. Endless holy light covered Ling Xiao who was in the middle. Kacha! A dazzling light suddenly exploded. Purple chi rose and golden clouds filled the air. Endless blood and chi gushed out. Ling Xiao was like an immemorial ferocious beast that had just woken up from its slumber. Boom! 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 He threw out over 100 punches in a row as fast as lightning. Every fist print contained an incomparably terrifying power. He directly fought with the dozen or so law enforcement disciples in close combat. Then, a resplendent light bloomed, and the dozen or so law enforcement disciples flew back at an even faster speed. Swoosh! Ling Xiao soared into the sky, and the blood in his body seemed to be boiling. The dozen or so law enforcement disciples also gave him a certain amount of pressure, but it also made the battle intent in his heart burn even brighter. What? Tang Yao was shocked. Her eyes were filled with disbelief. Not only did Ling Xiao withstand the attacks of the law enforcement disciples, but he also repelled them. This bastard can't win, can he? Gung Long and Gung Hu were also shocked. They could not make up their minds. His physical body is very strong. After being tempered by the Calamity Aura, he might have formed the indestructible Calamity Seed. But cultivation is the foundation. His cultivation is still too weak. He will definitely lose. Lu Han said indifferently. There was a strange light in his eyes. It was as if his eyes had turned black and white. He has formed the indestructible Calamity Seed. How? How is this possible? He has only cultivated the indestructible sacred technique for less than a year. Tang Yao's eyes were filled with disbelief. Although she also thought that no one could compete with Zhan Tianqing for the flipping sky seal, Long Outyan was too terrifying. He had formed the indestructible Calamity Seed in less than a year and was qualified to control the flipping sky seal. Zhan Tianqing had also spent decades collecting the Calamity Aura to form the indestructible Calamity Seed. I'm just guessing. But his physical body is indeed very strong. But no matter how strong his talent is, the War God Temple does not need someone like him. Lu Han said coldly. Boom. At first, the dozen law enforcement disciples were only probing with their attacks. After sensing the strength of Ling Xiao's physical body, they all took out their powerful weapons and activated the Saint Dao true intent they had comprehended. They charged towards Ling Xiao. Chapter 1641. More than 10 sage-to-be experts charged towards Ling Xiao at the same time. They were surrounded by a baleful aura as though they were killing gods that had walked out from a mountain of swords and a sea of blood. Their attacks were ruthless as they targeted Ling Xiao's vital points. After a short test, they realized that Ling Xiao's physical strength was extremely terrifying. They didn't choose to fight Ling Xiao head-on. Instead, they used powerful saint techniques and saint artifacts to attack Ling Xiao from afar. Rumble. A black blade light cut through the heavens and earth. It contained a power that could destroy everything as it slashed towards Ling Xiao's head. The blade intent was unparalleled and extremely shocking. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. The Heaven Path Chaos Tablet in his hand was surrounded by a faint chaotic light. It was heavy and ancient. It went up and shattered the blade light in the sky. Then, it blasted towards the law enforcement disciple. Swoosh! 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 Behind Ling Xiao, a few blazing sword lights rose up. They intertwined with a monstrous baleful aura and shot towards his head, heart, dantian, and limbs. The attacks were very tricky. If Ling Xiao insisted on attacking the law enforcement disciple, he would inevitably be pierced by the sword lights. It was very likely that he would be severely injured. Not only were these law enforcement disciples ruthless, but their cooperation was also superb. They were the clearest about the weaknesses of these true disciples. They could adapt according to the situation and choose the most suitable attack method. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed coldly. He didn't even bother to look at the blazing sword lights behind him. He executed a teleportation technique and instantly appeared in front of the law enforcement disciple. The Heaven Dao Primal Chaos Tablet came crashing down on his head. "You're courting death." The law enforcement disciple's face changed. He didn't expect Ling Xiao to choose to fight with his life on the line. He immediately activated the battle blade in his hand and his Saint Force exploded as he faced the Heaven Path Chaos Tablet. Kacha! The Heavenly Dao Primal Chaos Tablet was as heavy as an immemorial divine mountain. The might of the flawless Saint Treasure exploded forth and directly smashed the saber into smithereens, smashing it into the chest of that law enforcement disciple. A crisp sound rang out, and the chest of the law enforcement disciple suddenly caved in, and a huge bloody hole appeared. Blood gushed out of his mouth, and he was sent flying. At this moment, the few sword lights enveloped Ling Xiao. Clang! 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 Ling Xiao did not dodge, but when the sword light landed on his body, there was the sound of metal clashing. Sparks flew everywhere. Purple chi spread out around Ling Xiao. His entire body was exuding an aura of eternity. Scram! Ling Xiao roared as the Heaven Dao Primal Chaos Tablet swept out, directly shattering the sword light in the sky. After that, his entire body shone with a resplendent light as he kicked out a few times consecutively. His speed was as fast as lightning, and accompanied by the power of wind and thunder, it was as though he could crush a mountain with a single kick. The few law enforcement disciples behind him couldn't dodge in time and were instantly sent flying by Ling Xiao's kick as if they were struck by lightning. Rumble! The blood chi around Ling Xiao rose, and there were streaks of purple chi permeating the air. The roar of a dragon shook the heavens and earth. His entire being seemed to have turned into an immemorial divine dragon, sweeping across all directions with an invincible aura. Although the law enforcement disciples cooperated well with each other, and each of them had a strong combat strength, they didn't seem to have any lethality in front of Ling Xiao. They were all repelled by Ling Xiao. Almost all of the First Revolution Half-Saints were defeated in one blow. Only the Second Revolution Half-Saints could barely resist Ling Xiao's attack. He actually used his physical body to resist the attack of a half-saint treasure. How can his physical body be so strong? Tang Yao exclaimed. Her expression became even more unsightly. The stronger Ling Xiao's cultivation was, the more shocked and jealous she felt. She even had a premonition that she couldn't control it, which made her feel very uncomfortable. It seems like I've underestimated him. The strength of his physical body is really rare. Even the demon race and the demon race, who are known for their strong physical bodies, can't compare to him. Lu Hun's eyes revealed a trace of shock. He could see that when the law enforcement disciples' attacks landed on Ling Xiao's body, there were faint ripples like water. Ling Xiao's body had a kind of indestructible fluctuation. Rumble! An unparalleled spear radiance came across the sky, emitting a purplish gold luster. It was like a divine dragon piercing towards Ling Xiao with unparalleled power. At the same time, a huge axe emitted an incomparably fierce aura. It slashed towards Ling Xiao as if it could split the heaven and earth apart. Among the law enforcement disciples, the two strongest Third Revolution half-saints had made their move. The two of them attacked Ling Xiao at the same time. Once they made their move, the pressure in all directions caused people's hearts to tremble. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed sharply. The strength of the two Third Revolution half-saints was extremely strong, which made him feel a trace of threat. The heavenly Tao Primal Chaos tablet in his palm suddenly rose into the sky, and streaks of chaotic fog shrouded him, causing his aura to become indistinct. Whoosh! Ling Xiao was like an invisible shadow, piercing through layers of the void in an instant. The heavenly Tao Primal Chaos tablet collided with the spear radiance, and an incomparably resplendent divine light burst out from both sides. Ling Xiao took advantage of the situation and threw a punch towards the Third Revolution half-saint. At the same time, the heavenly Tao Primal Chaos tablet flew out of his hand and went towards the huge axe. Bang! The heaven and earth trembled, and a vast divine radiance bloomed. The Third Revolution half-saint did not expect Ling Xiao's speed to be so fast. He could only activate the divine radiance around his body, and send a palm strike towards Ling Xiao. At the same time, a stream of light flashed under his feet, and he was about to retreat. Ling Xiao's fist smashed the palm print, and then his speed became even faster. He was like a golden lightning, soaring through the sky, and sent over 100 punches towards the Third Revolution half-saint in front of him. Ling Xiao's advantage was his physical body. With just the strength of his physical body, he was not weaker than the Sixth Revolution half-saint Qingying. In addition to Ling Xiao's secret teleportation and heaven-shrouding secret technique, he appeared and disappeared like a ghost. Although the law enforcement disciples knew Ling Xiao's weakness, they could not avoid him at all. Ling Xiao was like a piece of sticky candy, following closely behind like a shadow. The Third Revolution half-saint could not help but change his expression. Although he tried his best to resist, he was constantly retreating. Kacha! After the heavenly Tao Primal Chaos tablet collided with the huge axe, a resplendent light exploded in the sky. At the same time, the heavenly Tao Primal Chaos tablet was sent flying by the Third Revolution half-saint. Good opportunity. Kill. The eyes of the Third Revolution half-saint lit up. At this moment, Ling Xiao's heavenly Tao Primal Chaos tablet was sent flying. Without the protection of this supreme treasure, it was the best opportunity to deal with Ling Xiao. Suddenly, all the law enforcement disciples intertwined with terrifying Saint Qi, and the most terrifying attack power erupted. It was like a resplendent divine radiance storm, enveloping Ling Xiao. Go! Chapter 1642. Junior Brother Long, be careful. Tiangang and the rest couldn't help but shout out as their eyes were filled with worry. Ling Xiao was about to fall into the most dangerous situation. Not only was he bound by the purple gold chains, but he was also about to be attacked by the many enforcement disciples. Although they were infuriated, they felt a sense of helplessness. They could only place their hopes on Ling Xiao to display his prowess and defeat the enemies. However, this feeling was unbearable. Rumble. Powerful half-saint treasures and true meanings of holy techniques converged into a terrifying torrent of murderous intent. It pressed down on Ling Xiao as if it wanted to crush him into dust. Tang Yao's eyes revealed a cold smile. Although Long Outyan was strong, he would still be captured by the enforcement disciples in the end. She was even thinking about how to deal with Long Outyan after she brought him to the enforcement hall. Kacha! But right at this moment, a resplendent lightning suddenly exploded in the sky. The Heaven's Tao Primal Chaos tablet emitted an incomparably strange wave of energy. In an instant, it split into 9, transforming into 9 Heaven's Tao Primal Chaos tablets. They directly shot into the sky filled with destructive light, protecting Ling Xiao's body. The 9 Heaven Tao Primal Chaos tablets intertwined with each other. At the critical moment, they automatically protected Ling Xiao. The sky was filled with terrifying divine light, but they were all blocked by the 9 Heaven Tao Primal Chaos tablets. So what if you're enforcement disciples? You're just a bunch of trash. Ling Xiao said coldly. A terrifying aura burst out from his body. A purple divine light coiled around him like a purple dragon. It suddenly exploded with a loud rumble. The purple gold chain that had bound him was a powerful semi-sage treasure. However, it couldn't resist the power that had burst out from Ling Xiao's body. The talisman characters on the chain exploded, and it began to break apart bit by bit. Ling Xiao soared into the sky and the 9 Heaven Dao Primal Chaos tablets merged back into one. It expanded rapidly in the sky and became tens of thousands of feet tall. It was like an immemorial sacred mountain, exuding an ancient, mysterious, and majestic aura. Ling Xiao lifted the Heaven Dao Primal Chaos tablet up like the Heavenly Emperor lifting up the stars in the sky. He suddenly smashed it down towards the enforcement disciples. Rumble. The chaotic mist intertwined, turning the heavens and earth into a mysterious chaotic world. The faces of the law enforcement disciples changed drastically, as though they had sunk into a swamp. Regardless of whether it was a first revolution or a third revolution half-saint, their speed became extremely slow. They could only watch as the Heavenly Dao Primal Chaos tablet suppressed them. Crack. The sky was filled with blazing divine light as the 10 law enforcers' eyes were filled with fear. After being struck by the Heavenly Dao Primal Chaos tablet, they were all heavily injured as they spat out mouthfuls of blood and were sent flying. Ling Xiao stood in the sky. His black hair danced in the wind, and his white robe fluttered in the wind. His eyes were deep and bright, like an undefeatable emperor, exuding a peerless aura. This is the legendary Primal Chaos Tablet. This kid actually obtained 9 Heavenly Dao Primal Chaos Tablets. I must obtain such a precious treasure. At this moment, Lu Hun's gaze was completely attracted by the Heavenly Dao Primal Chaos Tablet in Ling Xiao's hands. His heart was filled with excitement, and his eyes were filled with greed. The Heavenly Dao Primal Chaos Tablet was a famous peerless saint treasure in the divine world. It was said that it was a treasure left behind by a Saint King expert. There were a total of 81 Heavenly Dao Primal Chaos Tablets. Although every Heavenly Dao Primal Chaos Tablet was an ordinary saint treasure, if one could gather all 81 Heavenly Dao Primal Chaos Tablets, it would be a peerless saint treasure, even comparable to the flipping sky seal of Battle Hall. A flawless saint treasure was extremely precious. Although Lu Han was a protector of the enforcement hall, he did not have a flawless saint treasure. In the entire enforcement hall, only the enforcement elder had a flawless saint treasure. If he could obtain these 9 Heavenly Dao Primal Chaos Tablets from Ling Xiao, it would be 9 flawless saint treasures. Furthermore, it was not something an ordinary saint treasure could compare to. Rumble. The aura of the Heavenly Dao Primal Chaos Tablet was monstrous. It was ancient and mysterious, exuding a peerless divine aura that could suppress everything. The battle that happened on War Mountain had also alarmed the other members of the War God Hall. Many of the inner disciples, pro-disciples, and even the elders were looking at War Mountain. Their divine senses intertwined as they tried to find out what was happening on War Mountain. What? The enforcement hall wants to capture the pro-disciple of Battle Hall, Long Outyen? Battle Hall really doesn't have any sense of existence. Isn't that so? Now that Battle Hall is weak, I think they should have gotten rid of the Battle Hall lineage long ago. There's no need for them to exist anymore. Why is Long Outyen's combat strength so strong? He's just a mere divine king. More than 10 half-saint pro-disciples couldn't even capture him. Instead, they were defeated by him. This is unbelievable. It should be the power of his stone tablet treasure, right? Could it be a flawless saint treasure? This Long Outyen is really lucky. Everyone's divine senses intertwined as they discussed animatedly. Some were mocking, some were indifferent, and some were sympathetic. But in the end, they were all stunned by the result of the battle on War Mountain. A divine king realm disciple had fought against the law enforcement hall alone and defeated more than a dozen law enforcement disciples of the half-saint realm. This was simply unbelievable. They were extremely shocked. Many of the true disciples who had not taken Ling Xiao seriously in the past also began to take Ling Xiao seriously at this moment. Damn it! How can this bastard be so strong? No, I can't let him be in the limelight. Long Outyen deserves to die. Tang Yao's expression was ugly, and her eyes were filled with killing intent. A light flashed in her palm, and in an instant, a purple jade talisman appeared, emitting a mysterious fluctuation. With a flash of light, it flew towards Ling Xiao. The purple jade talisman was silent, but it contained an extremely terrifying fluctuation of destruction. It didn't attract anyone's attention. A sharp glint flashed through Ling Xiao's eyes. He suddenly felt a sense of danger approaching. However, before he could do anything, he heard a powerful roar that shook the sky. Roar! The purple lightning lion, who had been lying obediently by the side, suddenly roared. Its purple fur stood on end, and its eyes were filled with coldness. In an instant, it rushed into the sky like a bolt of purple lightning. Its speed was extremely fast, and it blocked Ling Xiao's path. Boom! That purple jade talisman exploded with a loud bang, turning into violent bolts of purple lightning. It was terrifying to the extreme and directly submerged the purple lightning lion. You're courting death. Chapter 1643. Kacha. Within the purple jade talisman, streaks of purple lightning rose up. It was terrifying to the extreme, as though it could turn everything into dust. Ling Xiao could feel that the purple lightning lion's aura was weakening rapidly. Ling Xiao forcefully suppressed the anger and killing intent in his heart. His whole body turned into a bright light, and instantly shot into the terrifying lightning. At the same time, the Lightning Emperor technique exploded, and continuously devoured the lightning around him. Even the Thunder Spirit King, who was hiding in Ling Xiao's body, exploded with all its strength, and absorbed the lightning in the sky. This was the sage's true talisman, which contained the power of a sage. It was terrifying. Ling Xiao did not expect Tang Yao to be so crazy as to use the sage's true talisman to kill him at all costs. Fortunately, the sage's true talisman was incomplete. Hence, its power was greatly reduced. Moreover, it was a Lightning Dao true talisman. The purple lightning lion could also control the Lightning Dao true talisman. Hence, it was not killed instantly. Otherwise, the sage's true talisman would have severely injured the Lightning Spirit King, let alone a third revolution half-saint purple lightning lion. Boom! 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 Bolts of lightning struck Ling Xiao's body. Even though his physical body was extremely tough, and he had also unleashed the power of the Lightning Emperor technique and the Heaven-devouring secret skill, and even the Heaven Dao Primal Chaos Tablet was blocking the destructive lightning around him, just the aftershock alone was enough to tear Ling Xiao's skin and flesh apart. He was severely injured in an instant. You're courting death. I'd like to see how you can survive this time. Tang Yao said coldly, her eyes filled with coldness. Lu Hun furrowed his brows, but he didn't say anything. His eyes were fixed on the sky full of lightning. He was prepared to snatch the Heaven Dao Primal Chaos Tablet the moment Ling Xiao died. Despicable. Too despicable. That woman is really vicious. How dare she launch a sneak attack? Some of the disciples from the other factions could not stand it and said angrily. Shoo, you guys are courting death. That woman is Tang Yao, Zhan Tianqing's woman. The sage's true talisman in her hand must have been given to her by Zhan Tianqing. That's right. Don't talk too much. Zhan Tianqing is not someone we can afford to offend. Some disciples hurriedly said. Their eyes were filled with sympathy when they looked at the lightning. It seemed like it wasn't easy for the battle hall to produce such a talented true disciple. Could it be that he was going to be crippled just like that? In the end, he's still too young and impetuous. He offended Tang Yao. If he could endure for a while longer, he might be able to soar into the sky like Zhan Tianqing. Someone sighed inwardly. Everyone thought that even if Long Outyen didn't die, he would be seriously injured. After all, that was a saint's true talisman. It was extremely terrifying. The aftermath of the lightning made many of the true disciples' scalps numb, not to mention Ling Xiao who was in the center. Puff! Ling Xiao was indeed struck by the destructive lightning and suffered serious injuries. He spat out a mouthful of blood, but he still gritted his teeth and rushed out of the lightning storm with the purple lightning lion in his arms. At this moment, the purple bolt lightning lion looked very miserable. Its beautiful purple fur had been reduced to ashes and there were bloody wounds all over its body. It looked like a bloody mess. There were even purple lightning bolts dancing within its flesh. The purple bolt lightning lion's aura had become incomparably weak. Why were you so foolish? That saint's true talisman couldn't do anything to me. Ling Xiao said with a mixture of anger and heartache. The purple lightning lion had rushed out without a care for anything, which made him feel extremely touched. However, what made him feel slightly relieved was that although the purple lightning lion was heavily injured and its aura was extremely weak, it was not life-threatening. She's a bad person. You're a good person. The purple lightning lion tilted its head and said in a childish voice. Its voice was very crisp. I'm a good person. Ling Xiao was slightly taken aback. Looking at the purple lightning lion's clear eyes, he nodded seriously and said, Good child, rest well. Leave the rest to me. Ling Xiao sighed in his heart. Although the purple lightning lion was very strong, it was still in its infancy stage. It was roughly equivalent to a child of a few years old. It was still very naive. However, it was this naivety that made it rush forward without a care for its own life when it saw Ling Xiao in danger. This kind of pure heart was very moving. The purple lightning lion blinked its large eyes, then its head tilted to the side and it fainted. Take good care of it. Ling Xiao said seriously as he handed the purple lightning lion to Tian Gang. Don't worry. Leave it to me. Tian Gang nodded his head seriously. Ling Xiao stroked the purple lightning lion, then slowly stood up. The blood on his body had already dried, and his white robes were dyed red with blood. A murderous aura rose around him, and his entire person was as straight as a sword. A monstrous murderous aura filled the air. His eyes were filled with cold murderous intent as he stared at Tang Yao in the distance. Tang Yao trembled. Ling Xiao's gaze made her heart skip a beat. Her expression turned even colder and uglier. Even the saint's true talisman could not kill Ling Xiao. At this moment, other than anger, there was also a trace of fear. Barging into my sect, injuring my brother, and trying to kill me. Tang Yao, do you really think I don't dare to kill you? Ling Xiao's voice exploded in the void like thunder. He stared at Tang Yao, his eyes filled with uncontrollable murderous intent. Rumble. The heavens and earth trembled as Ling Xiao rose into the air. His murderous aura permeated the air, and every step he took caused the heavens to tremble. A vast aura rose up, causing his aura to be terrifying to the extreme. He walked towards Tang Yao, and it was as if heaven and earth were pressing down on Tang Yao with him. Tang Yao's face turned pale instantly. Long Out Yen, what are you doing? Tang Yao screamed. Her expression turned uglier and uglier, and there was even a trace of fear in her eyes. I'm here, to kill you. Ling Xiao said coldly. The serious injury of the purple lightning lion had made him completely furious. This vicious woman had made his murderous intent reach its peak. Ling Xiao's voice made Tang Yao's face turn pale. She could not help but take a few steps back, her entire being filled with shame and anger. Right at this moment, a powerful aura erupted and blocked Ling Xiao's path. Powerful saint's aura filled the air around Lu Hun. His entire aura became extremely hot, as if there were bursts of flames rising, locking Ling Xiao in front of him. Long Out Yen, how dare you! Injuring a law enforcement disciple and disobeying the rules of the sect. You are simply lawless. If you don't surrender now, don't blame me for being rude. Lu Hun shouted coldly. His gaze was fixed on Ling Xiao, and his voice shook the void. Chapter 1644. Lu Hun had made his move. Everyone's body trembled, and they couldn't help but reveal a trace of seriousness in their eyes. Lu Hun was the enforcer of the law enforcement hall. His cultivation had reached the peak of the 6th revolution and he was only one step away from the 7th revolution. In the War God Palace, the 6th revolution half-saint realm was a dividing line. Those below the 6th revolution half-saint realm were protectors and deacons. They were all middle-level management personnel of the sect. However, 7th revolution half-saint realm could be promoted to elders and deputy palace masters of the sect. They could be considered as high-level members of the sect. The gap between the 6th revolution half-saint realm and 7th revolution half-saint realm was huge. It was said that Lu Hun would soon cross the 7th nirvana tribulation and advance to the 7th revolution half-saint realm. At that time, he would become an elder of the law enforcement palace. Therefore, his status was very high. Many true disciples didn't dare to offend him, not to mention his ruthless means. His cultivation was at the peak of the 6th revolution half-true saint. His strength was unparalleled. Everyone could not help but sigh in their hearts. It seemed like Lu Hun was going to suppress this storm. Although Ling Zhao's battle strength was strong and he could defeat more than a dozen law enforcement disciples, the gap between the Divine King realm and the 6th revolution half-saint realm was too big. There was no suspense at all. Even a perfect holy treasure couldn't make up for this gap. Therefore, the result was already determined. I heard that Lu Hun's methods are extremely vicious. Even if the disciples who fall into his hands don't die, they will lose a layer of skin. Junior brother Long is in danger. Why isn't the great elder back yet? Tiangang also began to panic. His eyes were filled with incomparable worry. Shameless old thing, bullying the weak as the strong. What the hell is this? Black Donkey scolded indignantly. Although he did not like Ling Xiao, he could not help but reveal a trace of worry in his eyes at this moment. Lu Hun. If he dares to hurt senior brother Long, I will take his life 10 years later. Killing intent flashed in Xian Wang's eyes. Her white dress fluttered in the wind, and her aura was extraordinary. If someone else said that they could catch up to Lu Hun in 10 years, perhaps no one would believe it. However, everyone knew how terrifying Xian Wang's talent was. Killing Lu Hun in 10 years was not a joke. Tang Yao gritted her teeth and said, "Protector Lu, this Long Out Yen is acting recklessly. He went against the Tribunal Council and injured the disciples of the Tribunal Council. He even tried to kill me. Please kill him on the spot." When Tang Yao thought about how she was frightened by Ling Zhao's gaze, she felt both embarrassed and angry. She felt as though she had suffered a great humiliation, and she wanted nothing more than to kill Ling Zhao right now. "Don't worry. No one can save him today," Lu Hun said indifferently. His eyes were burning with passion as if they were about to turn into a vast sea of fire. Rumble. Behind Lu Hun, flames spread out and an ancient and terrifying aura rose. A three-legged golden crow surrounded by endless flames appeared. That ferocious aura seemed to want to burn everything into ashes. Lu Hun came from the fire hall and cultivated the sacred burning sky technique. He had comprehended the true meaning of the three-legged golden crow, which was one of the strongest true meanings of the sacred burning sky technique. Its attack was unparalleled, and it could destroy the heavens and earth. "Lu Hun, how dare you stop me?" Ling Zhao's eyes were filled with sharp killing intent. He did not even take Lu Hun seriously when he unleashed the true meaning of the three-legged golden crow. His killing intent was burning fiercely, and he could not wait to tear Tang Yao into pieces. He could see that the Tribunal Council and Tang Yao were in cahoots, and they were determined to deal with him. Therefore, he did not hold back and directly called Lu Hun's name. He stared at Lu Hun without a trace of fear. "Long Out Yen. You are indeed arrogant and despotic. How dare you look down on me when you are merely a divine king? When you break through to the sage-to-be or even become a divine saint, you will look down on the war god as well. You are not fit to be a disciple of the war god hall. Today, I will clean up the mess for the war god hall." Lu Hun's eyes were filled with killing intent. Terrifying flames rose around him as if he was going to strike Ling Xiao at any time. He originally wanted to bring Ling Xiao back to the Tribunal Council and hand him over to Tang Yao and Zhan Tianqing. However, he changed his mind when he saw the Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos Tablet. Since the War God Hall was weak now, even if he killed Ling Xiao in front of everyone, he would be able to get the Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos Tablet and no one would blame him. It was killing two birds with one stone. Therefore, now that he had a reason to kill Ling Xiao, he could not be bothered to hide it anymore. Ha ha ha. Clean up the mess. Who do you think you are to represent the War God Hall? I, Long Outyen, am a true disciple of the War God Hall. I have not committed any crimes, and you want to kill me based on your guesses. Old dog, let's see how you are going to kill me. Ling Xiao's eyes were as cold as steel as he stared at Lu Hun. Everyone was shocked. They could not help but look at Lu Hun with admiration. Who was Lu Hun? He was one of the most popular protectors in the Tribunal Council and was about to become an elder. Long Outyen actually dared to call him an old dog. However, he had the guts to scold Lu Hun and do something that many people did not dare to do. Even though they knew that Ling Xiao was about to be killed by Lu Hun, they could not help but admire him. You are courting death. Lu Hun's eyes turned cold and murderous. Suddenly, the sky was filled with flames. With a sharp cry, the three-legged golden crow, wrapped in a monstrous evil qi, with cold and bloodthirsty eyes, directly suppressed Ling Xiao. He had already decided to kill Ling Xiao. Junior brother Long. Tiangang and the rest cried out in shock as their faces instantly turned incomparably pale. Lu Hun was a 6th Revolution half-saint. His burning sky sacred technique was terrifying. Seeing Ling Xiao about to die at Lu Hun's hands, even though they were angry and worried, they couldn't do anything to stop it. A sense of powerlessness surged in their hearts. They couldn't help but clench their fists. Their eyes were filled with anger and hatred. Old dog Lu Hun, you are the one who is courting death. Ling Xiao shouted as he faced the blazing flames in the sky. He was not afraid at all. Rumble. A terrifying bolt of lightning rose up, causing the sky to tremble. The entire War Mountain rumbled as if the origin of lightning had descended. A terrifying figure appeared behind Ling Xiao. His face could not be seen clearly as he was shrouded in endless lightning. He was like a supreme emperor who controlled the lightning tribulations. He slammed his palm towards Lu Hun. This is a 9th Revolution half-saint. Who are you? Chapter 1645. Rumble. The aura was so terrifying that it covered the sky. It was like a saint who had mastered the way of lightning. The lightning was dazzling and instantly suppressed Lu Hun's aura. A monstrous palm pressed down on Lu Hun. There was a huge gap between a 6th Revolution half-saint and a 7th Revolution half-saint. The gap between a 6th Revolution half-saint and a 9th Revolution half-saint was even greater. Lu Hun felt the threat of death from the palm. Open up. Lu Hun roared towards the sky. The saint force around him exploded as if it was burning. The three-legged golden crow's aura was so terrifying that it rushed towards the giant palm. Kacha! The heavens and earth trembled as divine light burst out. It was as if a divine sun had exploded between the heavens and earth. In an instant, a terrifying divine light storm was set off. A mournful cry was heard in the sky as the three-legged golden crow exploded. Flames filled the sky. The palm landed on Lu Hun's body. Suddenly, endless lightning exploded on Lu Hun's body. Lu Hun's body was badly mutilated. He coughed out blood violently and was sent flying like a rag. Ling Xiao stood in the sky. He and the terrifying figure behind him complemented each other. There was a peerless and invincible aura. Everyone was stunned. How could this be? After Lu Hun attacked, everyone thought that Ling Xiao was dead for sure. After all, the combat strength of a 6th Revolution half-saint was much stronger than a divine king. Ling Xiao was no match for Lu Hun. However, the scene in front of them shocked them. They felt as if they were in a dream. They could not believe what they were seeing. Lu Hun was defeated. He was completely defeated. He was severely injured by the palm and was lying on the ground like a dead dog. What exactly is that figure? How can he be so terrifying? A 9th revolution half-saint. Who would have thought that Long Outyen would have such a peerless figure as a 9th revolution half-saint? Who is he? Could it be that Long Outyen has a powerful background? Otherwise, why would such a terrifying figure be following him? Everyone's eyes were filled with doubt. They could not see the figure behind Ling Xiao. They were all secretly guessing Ling Xiao's identity. Master, my attack is not bad, right? Isn't it shocking? Look at them. They are all stunned. Thunder Spirit King laughed. His voice was transmitted into Ling Xiao's mind. That powerful and terrifying figure was, of course, the Thunder Spirit King. Ling Xiao was as powerful as a 9th revolution half-saint. Although Lu Han was a 6th revolution half-saint, he was no match for the Thunder Spirit King. He was slapped down by the Thunder Spirit King. Not bad. Ling. He didn't want to expose the existence of the Thunder Spirit King so soon, but the law enforcement hall and Lu Han had gone too far. Therefore, Ling Xiao asked the Thunder Spirit King to do something. However, Ling Xiao knew that after the Thunder Spirit King was exposed, the news would spread out. Soon, the people in the 9 imperial gates would suspect Ling Xiao. Huang Wuji had a saint patriarch behind him, so he must have a high status in the 9 imperial gates. Who is that? Tang Yao's entire body began to tremble, and her eyes were filled with incomparable terror. She didn't expect that Long Outyen would have such a terrifying trump card. A 9th revolution half-saint was a cultivation level that only the top elders and vice-lords of the War God Temple had. She finally felt that the situation was out of her control. Cough. Lu Han coughed out blood. His body was badly mutilated. His aura became extremely weak. He looked at Thunder Spirit King in disbelief and said, "Who are you? How dare you behave so atrociously in my War God Temple? You don't deserve to know my name," said the Thunder Spirit King with a cold smile. The qi around him was monstrous. It locked onto Lu Han, which made Lu Han's expression change. "Lu Han, don't you want to kill me?" Ling Xiao said indifferently. His eyes were filled with sharpness. He walked towards Lu Han. The entire War Mountain was silent. Whether it was the law enforcement disciples or the disciples of the War God Temple, they all looked at Ling Xiao with respect. Lu Han's expression became extremely ugly. He stared at Ling Xiao and said, "Long Outyen, you're dead. So what if you're a 9th revolution half-saint? In my War God Temple, even saints don't dare to behave atrociously. How dare a mere 9th revolution half-saint attack me? You've violated the sect's rules and resisted a law enforcement disciple. Do you want to betray the sect?" Lu Han's voice was very cold. He reprimanded Ling Xiao loudly, but he seemed to be fierce. "I've said it. Old dog Lu Han, you can't represent the War God Temple. The law enforcement disciples should be the fairest people in the War God Temple. But you didn't ask for the reason. You don't have any evidence. You want to arrest me indiscriminately. You're a coward who can't tell right from wrong. What right do you have to be a protector of the War God Temple? Today, I'll teach you a lesson on behalf of the law enforcement elders," Ling Xiao said indifferently. His eyes were extremely sharp. The Thunder Spirit King sneered. Lightning flashed around his body. It contained an extremely terrifying destructive power. It seemed like he was going to fall from the sky and kill Lu Han. Lu Han's expression changed drastically. He didn't expect Ling Xiao to continue attacking him. Just when he was about to say something, an old and majestic voice suddenly sounded in the void. "Teach Lu Han a lesson on behalf of me? Who do you think you are?" A light flashed in the void. Heaven and earth seemed to be separated. 2 figures appeared in the sky above the War Mountain. One of them was an old man in a black robe. He was tall and strong. His face was ruddy and majestic. Lightning flashed around his body. His aura was extremely terrifying. Just standing there made the void around him tremble violently. The other one was a middle-aged man in black armor. His face was indifferent. Purple lightning flashed around his body. He was looking at Ling Xiao with a cold gaze. He was the vice leader of the Thunder Hall, Lei Qianjue. Law enforcement elders. Elder, please help me. This Long Outyen is arrogant and unruly. He didn't follow the rules of the War God Temple. He has committed a heinous crime. Elder, please arrest him. Lu Hun was overjoyed. His eyes were filled with excitement. The old man in the black robe was the leader of the War God Temple. Xing Jun. Ling Zhao's eyes lit up. The law enforcement elder Xing Jun and Lei Qianjue came to the War Mountain at the same time. It seemed like they didn't come with good intentions. Chapter 1646. Master, the two of them are very powerful. The Thunder Spirit King's eyes became serious. Lightning flashed around him, and he hid his energy. He stared at Xing Jun and Lei Qianjue. Both of them were strong warriors of the Way of Thunder, and they were both at the 9th Revolution Half-Saint realm. Even the Thunder Spirit King felt threatened by them. After all, the Thunder Spirit King was just a Thunder Spirit. Strictly speaking, it was a Thunder Spirit body. It did not have a body of its own. In a special place like the Divine Cloud Valley, it could unleash powerful combat strength. However, in the War God Shrine, it was at a disadvantage. Greetings, Law Enforcement Elder. Greetings, Vice Palace Master Lei. Everyone on the War Mountain bowed to Xing Jun and Lei Qianjue when they saw them. However, Ling Xiao was the only one who stood there proudly. His eyes were calm and he had no intention of bowing to Xing Jun and Lei Qianjue. May I know why the law enforcement elder is here? Ling Xiao said calmly. He did not believe that Lu Hun's arrogance had nothing to do with Xing Jun. Judging from Xing Jun's aura, he was probably from the Thunder Hall as well. He was in charge of the law enforcement hall and he came with Lei Qianjue. It did not seem like he was here to seek justice for Ling Xiao. Long Outyen, who is he? How dare you bring an outsider into the War God Shrine and injure the law enforcement disciple and guardian Lu? Are you trying to betray the sect? Xing Jun stared at Ling Xiao and said coldly. His aura was extremely majestic. Law enforcement patriarch, this is the Thunder Spirit King, my servant. He is not some random person. Since Protector Lu is trying to deal with me, my servant should be the protector, right? I don't know if the law enforcement elder knows what happened, but you are blaming me without asking for the reason. Is this how the law enforcement elder manages the sect? Ling Xiao replied calmly. There was no fear on his face. The Thunder Spirit King, is your servant? Xing Jun and Lei Qianjue's eyes narrowed. Long Outyen was only a divine king, but he had a 9th Revolution half-saint as his servant. It made them wonder who Long Outyen was. Reporting to the law enforcement elder. According to Tang Yao and the mission elder's statement, Long Outyen, Wang Chuan, Lu Xian, Wei Zhen, and Wei Xing entered the divine space to carry out a mission, but Wang Chuan and the other three died in the divine space, and only Long Outyen returned unharmed. We suspected that Long Outyen had something to do with the deaths of Wang Chuan and the other three, so we wanted to bring him back to the enforcement hall for investigation. However, Long Outyen openly resisted arrest, and was extremely arrogant. He didn't put the sect's rules in his eyes at all. Not only did he injure more than a dozen enforcement hall disciples, he even ordered his servant to kill me. Elder of Law Enforcement, please investigate this matter. Lu Hun glared hatefully at Ling Xiao before explaining to the disciplinary elder. That's right. Long Outyen, what else do you have to say? Xing Jun looked at Ling Xiao indifferently. Ling Xiao said calmly, Disciplinary elder, I'm a direct disciple of the battle hall. Even if I have to go to the disciplinary hall for an investigation, you should be the one to bring me back. I'm afraid Protector Lu doesn't have the right to do that. However, he attacked me forcefully. He broke the rules of the sect first. Xing Jun's eyes flashed with a cold light as he said slowly, Long Outyen, Lu Hun is here on my orders to bring you back for an investigation. It's no different from me coming here personally. Now that the situation is clear, you're the one who resisted arrest and injured the disciplinary disciple and protector Lu, why aren't you kneeling down and apologizing to them? Then, come back with me to the disciplinary hall for an investigation. Ling Zhao's eyes turned cold. He did not expect Xing Jun to say that he was the one who sent Lu Han. It was obvious that he was biased. Everyone's eyes flashed as they felt that the disciplinary elder was right. Long Outyen, Wang Chuan, and the other two's deaths were suspicious and they should be brought to the disciplinary hall for an investigation. However, they knew what kind of place the disciplinary hall was. It was easy to get in but difficult to get out. Who didn't have any secrets? However, in the disciplinary hall, no secrets could be kept and they would have to spit out everything. Disciplinary elder, you're wrong. You said that Lu Han is here on your orders. Where is the edict? You have no proof. Even the disciplinary elder can't side with Lu Han so obviously, right? Ling Zhao sneered coldly. Xing Jun's eyes turned cold. He did not give the edict to Lu Han. In other words, he knew nothing about it. He and Lei Qianjue were alerted by the Thunder Spirit King's presence and they both came to War Mountain to investigate. Ling Zhao's words hit the nail on the head. Suddenly, Lei Qianjue said lightly, Long Outyen, regardless of whether Lu Han had the edict or not, the disciplinary elder is here. You and the other three's deaths are suspicious. Why don't you surrender now and be brought to the disciplinary hall for an investigation? Could it be that you still want to stubbornly resist? Vice Leader Lei is right. Long Outyen, come with me. Xing Jun suppressed the anger in his heart and said coldly. Lei Qianjue skipped the topic and only mentioned that the disciplinary elder was here and wanted Ling Zhao to be brought to the disciplinary hall for an investigation. This could be said to be extremely vicious. If Ling Zhao was brought to the disciplinary hall, they would be able to do whatever they wanted to him. Everyone looked at Ling Zhao, waiting to see how he would respond. After all, even a true disciple could not refuse an investigation by the disciplinary elder. Ling Zhao's face was still calm. He said lightly, if you want me to go to the disciplinary hall, you have to get permission from the Grand Elder first. According to the rules of the faction, if you want to take away a true disciple from one of the 9 factions, you have to get permission from the temple masters. Tian Gang said, that's right. If you want to take junior brother Long away, you have to get permission from the Grand Elder first. Although the battle temple is weak, we will not allow anyone to bully us. Tian Gang's blood essence surged as he stared at Xing Jun and Lei Qianjue. He did not back down at all. Xian Wang, Zhou Daoji, Tai Niu, and the others all stood up and stood beside Ling Zhao. It was as if they would fight to the death if Xing Jun dared to take Ling Zhao away. Suddenly, Xing Jun furrowed his brows. He was in a difficult position. Although he was furious and wanted nothing more than to suppress Ling Zhao, he had to be fair and just in front of so many people. At the very least, he had to do it on the surface. Otherwise, with so many disciples watching, he wouldn't dare to go too far. At this time, Lei Qianjue spoke again, Junior brother Xing, the ghost demons have been stirring up trouble recently. Some of them have even snuck into the realm of the gods. I suspect that Long Outyen's servant is a spy from the ghost demons. Why don't we capture him and interrogate him? A cold light flashed in Xing Jun's eyes. He said indifferently, Senior brother Lei is right. As the disciplinary elder, I have the responsibility to protect the faction. This Thunder Spirit King is of unknown origin. We have to investigate him thoroughly. Long Outyen, let your servant surrender and let us search his soul. We suspect that he is a spy from the ghost demons. Lei Qianjue's words were exactly what Qin Fan wanted to hear. It gave him an excuse to kill Qin Fan. Ling Zhao's eyes turned cold. Shameless.